father and mother.
But where's that in the scriptures? I know you keep playing devil's advocate. Where's that in the scripture? Did not Moses have sons that were from an Egyptian woman? I'm sorry, Ethiopian woman, Zipporah. So that would mean Moses' two sons, right, are not Israelites. All right. King David, would King David be an Israelite? No, because according to that law, King David is not in that fold. Because who was his grandmother? His grandmother was Ruth. So Ruth got together. You have Boaz. Ruth got together with Boaz. Boaz had a son named Jesse. So Jesse's not an Israelite, right?
Yep.
He's not an Israelite, right? So Jesse had a son named David. He had 8 sons, 7 sons, and the 8th son David, which is the youngest. So that means David is not an Israelite. So guess what? Yahushua is not an Israelite. You see?
Yeah, I got a scripture. Wisdom of Solomon 7.
You know what I feel like when y'all roll up, man? When Vocab Malone roll up on us, that's how I fucking felt. You know? When you watch the tape, I said, look, ignore him. But he kept yapping and yapping, you know? Hey, but we but hey, brother, I'm not a fucking zoo animal, man. I'm not here to entertain you, brother. You know? And that's why this guy said in the Gladiator, are you not entertained? Because Jake come to get entertained, man. Jake come to get entertained.
Harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few.
Say it again.
The harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few.
The harvest is
plenteous.
ready, but the laborers are few. So you suppose look, I'm not going to teach for a couple hours. Oh, let's go to that camp. Let's teach for a half an hour over here. Oh, let's go hang out with this camp, man. Like I said, I'll say it again, man. I'm uncomfortable, brother, with that. So if you brothers are sincere, I'm sorry, man. You know? But it's about doing its work, man. Now since all of y'all are here, all right? Since all of y'all are here, what do y'all know about the MOTB? By a show of hands. Okay, brother, I don't know you. First time I seen you. What's that all about? The MOTB. Right. Okay, why do you believe that? Because I said it?
Based on the way that you're broken it down. Yeah, according to scripture.
Okay, so break it down to me. Break it down. I want you to teach it now. Break it down to me. You can understand, big dog. You working on the job and everybody coming around watching you put,
Nails
bottles of ketchup on the thing, and everybody coming around looking at your ass, man.
Watching you work when they should be working.
Yeah, because it's all about the work.
It's all about the work.
But this is a good thing, man, because you got to curse. Jake got to curse Jake out. Jake, you get weak. Hey, don't let this brother get weak, because I'm going to call him. What the fuck you been doing, man? You know? I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to call on you in a minute. These brothers were living up in Boston, right? So they still had to take that long ride down here from Boston, Connecticut to New York. And this is years ago. And they would come, but they were like there, you know? So I cursed their asses out, man. I said, what the fuck, y'all don't even come down, man. I cursed them out. Yeah, but we got that long ride. Well, that's your fucking fault. You know?
Well, that's the truth.
Get in the spirit.
Get in the spirit. And they got back in the spirit, man.
Yep.
Hey, what did King David say? Take not away from me thy Holy Spirit, man.
God.
And why did he say that?
I believe that was after he had gone off when he went into Bathsheba.
Yep. And he also said that because the first king went off. And what did the Most High do?
Yep.
He took the spirit from him, man.
Put an evil spirit
These
on
guys that fall off, I'm gonna call on you. These guys that fall off, man, they don't realize that the Most High take the spirit off of you and make you believe that you cool. All these guys that fell off. Let's say you fall off. I'm not saying that you fell off. let's say you fall off. You know you're an Israelite, you know the prophecies, but you fell off. You ain't doing the work. What are you going to do? What would you do?
What would I do
if you fell off? You knew you were an Israelite. You know you we cursing you out. Joe Smo, he ain't out there.
I might go in the world. You definitely go back in the world, in my opinion. You might know you're an Israelite. A lot of people know they're Israelites, but they go back into past patterns and this and that.
But what should you do? You should leave the country, right? Shouldn't you leave the country? Shouldn't you say, oh, I know I'm an Israelite, I fell off. I know the Most High is going to destroy me because I ain't doing the work. I didn't do the work in 7 months because of a girl or whatever, a chick. But you still have it in your mind, you're Israelite. You leave the country. Why? So you don't get hit with the missiles. That's what I wanted to, that's what I wanted you to say. But you said what you said, which is good. What do all these guys do when they fall out the truth? They go back into the world. They just do.
Yeah.
Everything good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Hey,
I guess it's the area with my phone.
When you go back into the world and you know that you're an Israelite, you might be with a chick, girl, and you might see it. Oh, I used to be down with her. So that shows you that you know that you're an Israelite, but you ain't left the country, and you should know you're gonna be destroyed by the Most High, right? Oh, that makes sense. So all those guys that fell off, did they leave the country? No, they still here.
They never really
because
believed.
they never really believed. They never really believed, man.
Yeah, if they believed, they'd leave the country, right? Because the prophecy says America's going to be destroyed, right? So that shows they never really believed. That's one of the reasons why they fell off. That's through something called unbelief. Lack of faith.
Give me Hebrews 3 and 10, and then read on to Hebrews 4.
I mean, my personal opinion, Salakia, let's say you fall off, whatever the case. Well, you got to come back. What's the script? You got to come back to the Most High 10 times. What's the alternative? What's the alternative? You're back in the world. You're smoking. You're doing this. Blah 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 blah. Now, what's the choice? That or being in the spirit? I'm gonna take the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Because the scripture says a righteous man falls 7 times. But whatever the case, you fall off the horse, you get back, or attempt to get back on
Immediately.
But some people don't. So you got a point.
That means, hey, you can't take 10 years off and all of a sudden come back. You ain't in this thing, man.
Not 10
you
years.
take a year off. You disappear for 6 months because you need a break. Ain't no breaks in this thing. Ain't no breaks in this thing.
You said Hebrews 3 and 10?
Hebrews 3 and 10.
It says, wherefore I was grieved with that generation, and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. So I swear in my wrath, they shall not enter into my rest.
Who shall not enter into the rest? The Israelites that don't believe.
Right.
Especially the ones that was in this, especially them. They're going to get it worse. Hold me that in 2 Peter 2. 20 is a key. You can go up a couple of verses above that.
You want that now, Apostle?
Yeah.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 20. For if after they have escaped the pollutions of the world through the knowledge...
Is there any more of that if you go up a couple of verses? I mean, that's a key point.
That's a key. I'll start at 18. For when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they allure through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are the servants of corruption.
So who promised them liberty? The ones that was teaching the other men about liberty, about the kingdom of heaven, they themselves became what?
The servants of corruption.
Servants of corruption. Because they fell off. Going back to high priest or priest Sabbath, based upon the microchip, right? The mark of the beast. He's saying, well, the mark of the beast is John 3:16. Now I know what he meant when he said that. He said that to this guy, Sakari, Al-Azhar. He said that. But Al-Azhar was laughing. Al-Azhar shouldn't have been laughing in the guy's face. He said, you know what I meant when I said John 3:16? He meant Christianity. He said that the mark of the beast is Christianity, which is not Christianity. If you have a working brain and the Spirit is with you, you're gonna see it, man. You know? Now he made now the clarification of that was that he said he learned it from the elders. He learned it from the heads. So he gonna go by it, and they did the same thing recently with the Cornelius thing and the
Romans 11.
Romans 11 thing about those wild olive trees grafted back in. They were not heathens; they were Israelites.
Right.
So what they going by is, I give Sabak props that he's out there teaching, but he's got to get the whole truth, man. You know, I have not shunned to declare unto you. Give me that.
The whole gospel.
The whole gospel.
Yep.
So when you go off on one point, you might as well throw the book away, man. You know?
It says rightly divided the word of truth.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Acts chapter 20, verse 27. For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High. Take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock, over the which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers, to feed the church of the Most High, which he hath purchased with his own blood. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock.
Yeah, those grievous wolves are the ones that's teaching that the 12 tribes sign, that the Latinos, the 10 tribes, those are not the Israelites. Which is clearly not biblical. Phobia is a group that teaches that. And phobia used to come around y'all. Y'all had Ephraimites in the camp, and all of a sudden they did a disappearing act for about a year and a half, 2 years. Then when they came back in with a whole different doctrine.
I'm not even going to comment on Quran now. But as far as all the Israelite artifacts in Central and South America, it's ridiculous. Like, I don't get it.
Well, that's why we open with Revelation, the 20th chapter. Because it speaks about, it doesn't mention Christopher Columbus. You got to mention, when you read that, you got to mention Christopher Columbus. So when he came over here to the New World, who did he encounter? Ishmaelites? Moabites?
Right.
He knew he was coming to conquer Israel. He had the records.
Yeah, they knew. How do we know that? How do we know that when he came over here, he knew he was going to encounter the Israelites?
He read second Ezra's, and he also came with Hebrew interpreters.
Y'all heard that? He came with Hebrew interpreters, man. Why? Why would you bring Hebrew interpreters, man, when you're going to encounter the Moabites?
Right.
Why would you bring, let's bring some Hebrew interpreters.
They brought the Hebrew interpreters and said, get down or lay down.
That's it.
Basically.
And that's the deception. The deception was Christianity, man.
Done.
Because what he said, he said, if you don't accept the cross, Christ, that you're going to be put to death. And they were put to death.
Done.
So where we at?
Back in Hebrews 3 and 10. Wherefore I was grieved with that generation and said, they do always err in their heart, and they have not known my ways.
Yeah, that generation is a certain segment of Israelites, man. That's why when we went through the Red Sea, which part, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Which part of the Red Sea did we go through? I'm not going to deal with y'all. Which part of the Red Sea did we go through?
Suez Canal.
Boom. That's it. That's it. Oh, man, they studied. Well, and they went into what was the wilderness called? Right. Now, when the Most High brought in the multitude, the mixed multitude, and the Israelites, what did he have? What was the first sin that they committed? What was the first major sin that they committed when they was in the wilderness?
Idolatry.
Huh?
Idolatry.
That's a good one. I want something else. That's good. Lack of faith is good, but what did they do? There was one major thing that they did. That's good too. That's part of the same answer.
Graven image.
We already said that.
Was it when the Egyptians were cursed the name of the Lord?
That's not it. Nope. What did they do as a whole? They committed a grave sin. They committed a grave sin.
Is it, I want to say murmuring or either filling the golden calf?
We already said that. We already said that. We already said that.
Yeah, same.
Y'all don't remember they didn't circumcise their sons?
Oh, yeah.
That's in Joshua. And if anybody can get it, bring it on out. And that's why that generation, that first generation that went to the wilderness, who were the only ones that made it to the other side?
I got the Joshua. The only ones who made it was Joshua and Caleb.
Good. Go ahead and read that. You got it?
I think it's Joshua 5:1.
All right, go ahead and read it.
And it came to pass when all the kings of the Amorites, which were on the side of Jordan westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites, which were by the sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of Jordan from before the children of Israel, until we were passed over, that their heart melted, neither was there spirit in them anymore, because of the children of Israel. At that time the Lord said unto Joshua, make these sharp knives, and circumcise again the children of Israel the second time. And Joshua made him sharp knives, and circumcised the children of Israel at the hill of the foreskin.
Yeah, because what did they do? They wasn't circumcising their children. So that first generation, they didn't make it to the other side of the world. The Most High let them die over there. And they was using that great chariot, he was shooting lasers on it. Does anybody know what that precept is? Numbers 11:1.
We was talking about that before.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's right. So go ahead and read it out.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. And the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
Greg, keep reading.
And the people cried unto Moses when Moses prayed, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again, and said, who shall give us flesh to eat?
Now, who egged them on to say that? The Israelites. It was a mixed multitude, them heathen, man. And then somebody mentioned the case of the Egyptian boy. The father was Egyptian, the mother was an Israelitish woman, and he cursed the name of the Most High. So what did the Most High say to do? To kill him, to put him to death. You know? Because you wasn't supposed to have no heathens among us, man. These Edomites, man, are into homosexuality. You know, they're into all kind of debaucherous living lifestyles. You can't have these Edomites among you, man. So that's why the Most High is going to kill all of them. Every last Edomite in this country is going to be destroyed by these missiles. And then they're going to go right into slavery. And then after they go into slavery, they're going to be gathered together, and they're going to be burnt up, man. You know?
Slovakia, we supposed to be separate. Period. You look at what is it, Judges 3:3. The other nations would approve us to see if they can seduce us into going off or whatever the case. So to resolve all that, just don't f with them. Period.
Now, can you have women of the other nations?
Yes, concubines.
Concubines? And I did a video on that, and then you got a bunch of the women that follow us cursing us out, man.
I got a quick
And we had to curse them back out, you know, because you can get kicked off. All right? Go ahead.
precept, 2 Corinthians 6 and 16. And what agreement?
See all these Israelites out here, these people that know that they're Israelites with these different groups and these wayward doctrines, man, they're gonna get caught out there, man. You know?
Yeah, well, the Heavenly Father said judgment is going to begin where?
The house of Israel.
At the house of the that's why the scriptures say we're to serve the Lord with what? Fear and trembling. At least we get caught up in the judgment. And the judgment's going to be brutal, man. It's not going to be anything nice.
They think it's gonna be,
This is not a joke.
you know, people are gonna die like in the movies.
Yeah.
Last will. No, you're gonna get burnt by fire. You're gonna them troops are coming in. And I was watching this guy, Jason Burmis, the last video that he did, which he's an Israelite, shit talking Israelite. He did a video on those Boston Dynamics.
I did a video.
Okay, and they showed the dogs.
Yeah.
Now they got them out there, man. In certain cities, they got them out there, man.
Robots.
But you know how they got the dogs set up? They got on the top of their head, they got a sniper
Rifle.
Rifle, you know?
RoboCop.
That's what they do, RoboCop in real life.
Yeah.
You know?
Just like drones, they got the same thing. Drones with
That's right. The
equipped with.
drones are weaponized.
Yep.
Those robo dogs are weaponized.
Got
So what you
straight up
think they're
robots.
gonna do? They're gonna start coming in here, man. They gave you a little piece of that like a year and a half ago, where it was tearing up stores and whatnot. All right, and they was tearing up stores. They were rioting. They were picketing, and these were all paid people to do that shit, man. So they're gonna do it again. And why is prices going up? Everywhere you go, prices going up. Why is prices going up? Inflation. And what's inflation?
When the value of the money goes down.
So how does the value of money go down?
You can't put more money into the circulation.
They keep so if you got a stash of $1,000 from 2 years ago, that thing is worth, you lucky if it's worth $250. So Jake doesn't understand that. That's why Jake is gonna bug the fuck out.
Yep.
And they're pretty much saying things will not come to normal unless everybody get the jab. And then the jab's gonna lead into more jabs into a booster. And you even got Israelite camps that are, well, what did Yohana say? Yohana said, General Yohana, he said, go ahead and take it. As soon as they came out with it, he said, go ahead and take it. And you know he has actual men in his camp that actually took it. This guy Tazariak wound up taking it. At first he said he wasn't going to take it. Then he said, I'm going to take it to show you not to fear it. Well, you're supposed to fear it if you want to use that word. Now they're saying you got Edomites that are heavy into that, and they're saying people are going to actually, that's a slow kill. So a lot of you are going to be put to death. A lot of you are going to drop dead. It's going to weaken your immune system. And that's another thing that Jake don't understand. Like I said, when they finally push that Karagma, you're going to have the mother camp bugging out, because now they can see it crystal clear what GMS has been saying for years, and they're going to come to us, and I'm going to give them the hand, man. I'm going to say, get to stepping, man. Give me Matthew 25 and kind of go right to the point. You got the
wise.
the wise version and the foolish version. The wise version had lamp in their oil in the lamp, and the foolish version didn't have any oil in that lamp, or dirty oil.
Bang.
You got dirty oil in your engine's going to seize.
Right.
So you're teaching people that Cornelius is an Edomite. You got dirty oil.
No viscosity.
No viscosity. That's what breaks down your engine. That's why you got to change it every so many miles. See, Jake don't understand that, man. Go ahead.
Matthew 25, verse 6. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil.
And that's going to happen. They're going to be looking for us. And you got to have it on your own. Instead of let every matter of fact, give me that. Philippians 2 and 12.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
So each and every one of you and you and you and you and you gotta work. What if they scattered all of us, man? What the hell are you gonna do?
Right.
Looking for Tahar? Looking for Apostle Ramla? Let me look for them brothers that can help you with so they can pray over me, man. You better get your act in gear, man. I'm coming with that. Hey, the Marines, man.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to be a Navy SEAL, man, most Navy SEALs don't make it.
No.
Because they put you, hey, go to YouTube and put Navy SEAL training. Most of them do not make it, man.
Oh, yeah.
But the ones that make it, they're going again hard, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And
because
this is the same thing. A lot of y'all came into this thing, and a lot of you, more than a lot of y'all fell back out. What you think the Most High is going to do to them, man? What you think the Most High is going to do? Because even Zabak said this. You can tell Zabak I said it. Look, this is what he actually said. Look, you can, because he's kind of seeing it now. He's kind of seeing it. He said, but you can get it, but you can take it out the last minute.
Oh, yeah,
So to me, you better fucking go to doctor school, medical school, and then first of all, it closes up. There's all kind of blood and
ligaments.
what do you call that?
Ligaments.
Ligaments.
Yeah. All kind of
ligaments.
Yeah.
And skin, and it closes up.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you're gonna be bad enough to pull out a Swiss Army knife? You'll pull that joker out. Let me pull out the
Surgical.
scanner. You ain't gonna do that,
MacGyver.
Because a lot of you niggas are punks, man.
Yep.
You know? You ain't gonna dig. So Esau do it.
Yeah. You got major arteries.
Esau don't give a shit. But you Jakes, you ain't gonna dig into your hand and pull some. And let's say you do go that far. You're gonna have a problem getting it out. And you might have it up to here, and all of a sudden you get hit with a missile.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you get hit with a missile.
Well, the fact that you took it, that means you failed the test of faith. It's all about faith. Because you go in the book of
Because
Revelation.
if you
3,
take
10,
it,
yep.
and you're a man of a high standard, others are going to take it. Like Yohana, he said, I take 4 or 5 of them bad boys.
Yep.
I ain't seen him take one.
It's lucky. I'm about to dip. Severe thunderstorm want to come in.
Yeah, we already know.
All right.
Shalom, Mark. Shalom, Mark.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right.
We'll be here next week, guys.
Con. Next week.
Lord willing.
Shalom. I got to get out this rain because it's already.
Yeah, because when it comes down, it's going to come down hard. So,
I see y'all.
Shalom, Mark. Shalom, Mark. All right. So where we at?
Okay. I still have, I don't know if you still want Matthew 25.
And this is why we keep bringing that subject up, man. We may sound like a broken record, but before Yahushua came on the scene, what were they talking about? They were talking about the Messiah, right?
Yep.
When John the Baptist came on the scene, are you the Messiah?
Right.
You know? No, I'm one crying in the wilderness, preparing the help me out, preparing the coming of the Lord.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
One in the wilderness. Yeah.
One in the wilderness.
Yeah.
And that was a fulfillment of Isaiah.
40.
Was it 40?
Isaiah 40, I think it is, yeah.
that was
Comfort ye my
yep.
people, yeah.
And it was also a fulfillment of Malachi.
Malachi. Yep. Malachi. Yep. Which is spoke about the
So
messenger.
they wasn't talking about the mark of the beast. They were talking about the coming of Yahushua. That was the convo, the conversation, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Ak.
Yeah, I wanted to break down why I know that the mark of the beast.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Revelation 13 and 16, and he causes all, both small and great.
You know what, brother? Start from one. Start from one and break it down quick. Are you sure you know the whole chapter?
The whole chapter. I just wanted to go into the.
But do you know the whole chapter? Have you ever gone through it?
I do. So I learned from the brothers.
Good. So I know you. Good. Go ahead and break it down. Go ahead.
Revelation 13 and 1.
You pointed to the right thing.
I learned from that brother too.
Okay, good.
And I stood upon the sand of the sea.
Speak a little bit louder.
And
You're
I
the
stood
teacher
upon
now.
the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
What's that talking about?
That's talking about the it's like the what do you call it? The beast is actually a group of nations that work together that make up this beast.
Okay, but what are the nations? What nations are you talking about?
And
Can you
this-
name some of the nations? Give me an idea of what the nations look like.
Today, the beast is the NATO and the EU.
Okay, good. So keep going. That's good. That's good enough. Go ahead.
And upon his horns,
That's talking about the Roman Empire. Now there was 2 Roman empires. The ancient Roman Empire and the modern Roman Empire. Although this is not being called the Roman Empire, but this is the same spirit. Those same leaders, those Caesars, they're back here again as presidents and leaders. Go ahead.
and upon his head the name of blasphemy.
So what does blasphemy mean?
Blasphemy is basically like disrespecting the Most High.
That's it. Disrespect somebody, talk shit about it. So that's what they're doing. They're talking shit because they're defying whatever the Most High says. They're doing what they want to do. That's why we call them a bunch of devils. Go ahead.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
Read that again.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
So what is that talking about? If you can't get it, I'll call on somebody else. I'm gonna give them a chance to get it. Help him out.
Alexander the Greek.
There you go. He knows it because we kept bringing it up. Keep bringing it up, man. Keep bringing it up. You guys sound like a broken record. Well, guess what? That's how you learn.
Watch something else.
Go ahead.
Continuing on. And his feet were as the feet of a bear.
So what does the bear represent?
The Russians.
That's okay. Right, you said the Russians, right? Okay. So go ahead, let's read on.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
What does that represent? Let me give him a chance. Help him out.
Fierceness.
Nope.
Great Britain.
There you go. Great. What's up with you, brother? Come on, man. You know,
Come on, precept man.
come on. You're supposed to be precept man. He answered it with, but you notice how he didn't answer like, he answered with confidence, man. Got his notes. So go ahead, read on.
And the dragon gave him his power.
Now who's the dragon?
The Romans.
Yes, the Romans.
That's it.
But also it represents something else. Romans is correct, but it represents something else.
Yeah, you might want to.
But go, well, it's actually talking about the elite.
I'm calling to get
Okay?
brothers.
But when you say Rome,
No,
that's
I
all
just
you
wanna-
need to say. Okay?
Go
Go ahead.
She's gonna tell you today.
The
Go ahead.
dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads.
If it start coming down hard, we're just gonna close up quick. Okay?
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. And his
Okay,
dead-
stop right there. Stop right there. I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death. What is that talking about?
That's the full of the Roman Empire.
Okay, good. Now, jump down. I forget the verse. It might be in the 13th verse. Try the 13th verse. See what that says.
And he doeth great
Worship
wonders.
the image.
Is that 15?
Read the 15th verse.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak.
Where you reading from?
Revelation 13 and 15.
Okay, start from 13.
Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And continue.
It says, he that worship the image of the beast. What verse is that? Could be like the 10th verse. I don't have the book in front of me.
Yeah, I think it's 15, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read it. Read it.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that many as would not worship the beast, worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So, who said, what Israelite group go around saying that the image of the beast is Caesar Borgia? IUIC. And how do you know that it's not talking about an image of Caesar Borgia? Because his deadly wound was healed. So that would mean Caesar Borgia had to die and come back to life. There's no record of that. But anytime I make a video of that clown, he got to make a counter video because he's a demon, man. You know? Go ahead, Ak. Go back to where you left off at. Almost
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. The wound being healed is today, the modern America that we have.
Exactly.
And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him?
What is that talking about?
They are worshiping the dragon is how America's basically Roman 2.0 basically. We're
Okay,
following in the same
excellent,
footsteps.
excellent. Read again, read again.
And they worship the
If it
dragon.
comes down hard, we're gonna call it.
So next, somebody gonna hold on. Give it to one of these brothers.
Go ahead, read that again.
And they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? And that's basically America.
Not just America. It's not just America. I know you know. You said it earlier.
The British and the American combined.
Yeah, but you said it right the first time. You mentioned it earlier.
The Roman Empire fell.
Nope, nope. NATO and the EU. America's part of NATO. So you got to mention the whole thing. Because now, saying America's good, but it ain't good enough. You gotta mention the two, NATO and the EU. All right, go ahead.
Who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with
Because America's not the beast. Actually, America sat on the beast. So the beast is actually Europe. But America is a part of the beast, which also makes America a beast. Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to
Yeah,
continue
because the
according
so-called white man, he's not going around saying, "Oh, it's a Sabbath. You got to close every store." When I was young, on a Sunday, everything was closed. But okay, so let's say they're doing the right thing by the Most High. They're still going off because you know why? Because Sunday ain't the Sabbath. Saturday ain't the Sabbath. The Sabbath is based upon the new moon. All right? Go ahead.
And power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
So what does the 42 months represent? That's a little bit tricky. I don't expect you to get it. Somebody help me?
350 years.
350 years. All right? Now, the 350 years represent what? From what starting point to what ending point?
16. When the Mayflower land, I think
1620.
1620 to 1970.
1970. That's 350 years. So why do you say what scripture comes to mind? Why do you say 1970?
Obadiah.
Obadiah.
When he shall go
Let's go. Somebody read it. Somebody get it. Read it, please. This is basically review. You've been in this thing for a while. You're supposed to know this by heart. Okay? I don't expect you to know it by heart, but you do know it.
It's the book of Obadiah, verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Thou, it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh.
So when did they set their nest among the stars? 69, 70, 71. And then the program kind of got, you know, squashed, put on the shelf. But now they're back doing it, but they got private organizations doing it right now. So the whole thing is about going to space.
Son.
Yeah, this guy, William Jackson, he went up into outer space. And that devil's 90 years old. But he might be a Jake, you know? Because he don't look like he's 90. He look like he's in his early 70s, you know? So go ahead.
Stop.
And he opened his mouth. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. Oh, it's like Revelation 13:6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle. And that then,
So how did they do that? By saying you can go out every day and buy what you want. You know, there's no Sabbath. They passed laws to protect homosexuals. Now I was doing a video, I didn't put it up yet, but I spoke about it in one video over there in the land of Israel. They're saying that's a fulfillment of prophecy. Well, wait a minute. I asked a question, I put it in Google, I said, is everything closed on the Sabbath in Israel, right? And they said most things are closed. So they're going off right there, but except Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is also known as Pink City, where they have that big gay parade. They say that the stores are open every day. People are committing adultery every day. Homosexuality is going on every day. So how in the fuck, I'm getting mad now. How in the fuck can these people be the fulfillment of scripture, man? And everybody's supposed to learn their laws, right? Come so they may show us their ways.
And there's not supposed to be any more wars.
And there's not supposed to be any more wars.
Yeah.
So these people are true. That's why they don't want to put you on the media, because if you got on their media and really told them, first of all, they're going to try to make you look bad anyway. They're going to ask you off questions. They're not going to let you speak freely. You got to be careful of certain things that you say, especially when you speak exclusively on the so-called Jew. They'll take your thing down, man. And they'll take your page down. And we've been speaking about the MOTB for years. They never took videos down. Now all of a sudden, they're taking videos down. Because the elite told them, when they talk about that, when Yohana says something, he can say all he wants about the jab and all that. They ain't going to take him down because he's an insider, man. He sold the fuck out. That's why you don't see him out on the highways and the byways. That's why you don't see him out here on the highways and the byways. You don't even see him teaching classes.
Ireland.
You know? Go ahead. Jake thinks it's a fucking joke, man. Give me Hebrews 4:1 again. Jake thinks this is a joke. And see, when the Most High open up on Jake, the Most High's not going to stop. He's going to tell them angels, like in what is that, Ezekiel 9:4 on down, he pulled back the angel. When he sent the death angel during the time of King David, he pulled back the death angel.
Yep.
All right?
3 days.
He ain't going to pull back the death angels this time.
Yep.
If your wife ain't right, she going to get killed right on the spot. And your children.
Yep.
And your mother and your father and your relatives and your best friend and your favorite uncle. This is the ultimate test, man. And they're testing you with the jab. That nigga fucking LeBron James, he took it because he's fully in the system. But Kyrie Irving, he ain't with the system, man. And he's losing millions of dollars and he don't give a shit. You know? Because a lot of those athletes be watching us. And if you listen to us and go and follow what Yohana said and what Nate says, and you get caught out there, that's on you, nigga.
Yeah. Child tossed to and fro.
That's right. Ephesians 4. Go ahead, read it.
Hebrews 4:1. It says,
And then another thing. Give me Revelation. You already know I want Revelation 3:15. Now I had a kid back at the One West, the school at One West. I had 50 to 51 brothers in the camp. The only ones that were left is Apostle Gabar and Bishop Nate. Now, Rakar, he was in the Brooklyn camp, which me and Ariana had set up. And every week, before we went out and spoke, or went out to speak, I would say, open up with this script, and you see guys squirm, you know? And what happened to all them guys? They all fell out. They all went back into the world. And a lot of them is already dead. One guy among them, Shabar, he committed suicide, man.
Revelation 3:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold.
You got to be on fire with this thing, man. Either you're hot or you're cold. Either you're on fire or you're not. Boy, this is your first priority.
Yeah. Revelation 3:15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot.
What does it mean to be lukewarm? Right, that's it. You kind of come out when you want to come out. You take the winters off. If I say, well, why are you taking the winter off? Because I got cold conditions. Well, fuck it. Get a cold, man. Bundle up more. Like I said, you see a lot of these top leaders, they don't come out on the highways and the byways. If they did it one time, they ain't doing it no more. They're dumb dogs. Somebody give me that.
Isaiah 56.
Isaiah 56 and 10.
Lukewarm would be a guy too that's riding off the vibration of another guy. When he's supposed to be out there working, doing the work, instead he's kind of riding the vibration off another dude. That's kind of lukewarm too.
He don't ride off my vibration. When he does his videos, that's his videos, man. When he does his videos, those are his videos. When I do my videos, those are my the videos that the Spirit got on me to do, man.
Hey, y'all remember when Apostle Paul, well, he was Saul, but when he got converted, he became who? Apostle Paul, right? How long did it take him before he went to Jerusalem? Because he got the ministry, but it took him a while to go and see the elders.
Yeah, how many years did it take him to go to see the elders? By show of hands.
By show of hands. Well, we know you.
Y'all don't got to put your hands with me.
We understand hands put up. How about you, man? How long did it take Apostle Paul to go to Jerusalem to converse with the elders? Now, you've been in this truth how long? 15 years. You should know this.
We don't expect you to know everything because you might ask me a trick question out of the blue. You might have read the whole first Maccabees and second Maccabees and asked me a point. I don't know. I got to go back and read it. So there's certain things you're not going to know. It's humanly impossible to know everything that's in the scriptures. But if you don't know that question, this next question, you should know that. Or the next three questions, you should have to answer for.
All right, Apostle Tawah, if you're on fire, right? Right? If you're on fire, you would know something like that.
I know it.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I know it.
Tell me I'm wrong. If you're on fire for this gospel, right? You would know something like that, right? Well, how long, bro? See, that's a shame. You've been in this thing 15 years. You should know that, man. That's what I'm talking about.
So now that should make you mad, right? You get mad at I don't care. You can get mad at me, but you know what? Get mad to the point.
Yourself, no?
Get mad to the point where you get into know everything, man. You know, be ready to give an answer to them that ask. You know. But like I said, you might not know every aspect of the scriptures, man. But there's certain things you should know offhand, man. All right?
Yeah, bro, you should be mad at yourself. You've been in this thing 15 years. You should be mad at yourself. Don't be mad at Apostle Tawah and myself. Okay, well, good. Okay, well,
I'm not
good.
holding the grudge.
Well, good. No. I'm saying, as a teacher, you've been in this thing 15. You're supposed to be a teacher, right? You're supposed to be a teacher, right? As a teacher, you should know stuff like this. And if you were on fire, really on fire for this, you'd know. The answer is 3 years, my brother. 3 years.
3 years.
That's the point that we're making. You got to take this thing seriously, man. That's the point. That's the point that's being made here. This is no
Somebody
joke.
give me, what is that, Baruch 4? What is that, 28th verse?
Yep.
I believe.
Every time Elder Pastor asks a question, the same hands keep going up. Why are you guys here? We're not wallflowers, man. You guys are here to attain this gospel. Fight for this. Does it not say fight the good fight of faith? This is a fight.
It also says, eat this from Rome and go out and teach the sons of Israel, man.
It is, man.
And you guys, and you're accountable for this, man. Because guess what? If you just teach any old thing, yeah, that's a blunt to you, because that's an extra you from the Most High.
Yep.
Because you ain't eating the road. You know?
I got that.
Yeah, go ahead, Ak.
I didn't know that answer, but the spirit of 3 years was on me where I didn't want to guess it, but that was what I was going to say.
Okay, all
I
right.
don't know what that's about, but
Okay, all right.
Well, you'll agree with me, though. As a teacher, a guy been in it 15 years, you should know that stuff, right? Am I wrong or right? Yeah or nay?
right.
There you go. That's it.
This is Baruch 4:28. For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
So you're supposed to be on fire. You're supposed to be on fire. That's why guys fall off, because they're not on fire. They're lukewarm. Are you still in there? Revelation? Or did you finish it?
Three.
Revelation
3.
Revelation 3:15.
Yeah, I'm still there. Revelation 3 and 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
Let me ask y'all something. How many of y'all know High Priest Ariel and High Priest Shaw? I mean, know them from watching them, from what we said. Are they on fire? No, Ariel's not on fire. All right? Shaw, Brother Shaw, High Priest Shaw, he ain't on fire. Ain't none of the 7 on fire, man. So why the Most High put us in this position? Because we're on fire. Go ahead, Ak. Go ahead.
Are we all still alive?
We don't know. We don't know. The last time I seen it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But it ain't important. You know?
Another thing too, brothers, we ain't here to be liked. This ain't a popularity contest. You think if Yahushua was here, you know how many men could really hang with Yahushua? You know what kind of character Yahushua had?
Well, the
Or
70 got offended and left him.
He was an austere man. He was the kind of guy you came around and you were nervous, man. He wasn't Mr. Friendly. We're not supposed to be Mr. Friendly. We're not here to be your best buddies or your best chums. We're here to instruct you in this gospel. You learn it and you go out and teach others. That's what this thing is all about, brothers.
So let's go.
Okay, Revelation 3 and 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
He's going to take the spirit from you, man. You can act like you're an Israelite. I'm not an Israelite. I just play one on YouTube. You know? Like I said, a lot of these guys, these top leaders of these different camps, they figure they put in a certain amount of years, they retire. No, ain't no fucking retirement, man. Was John the Revelator or John the Apostle, did he fucking retire?
Nope. He was in his 90s.
He was in his 90s, probably 100 years old, receiving them visions, man. Now, when he received them visions in the book of Revelation, who is the book of Revelation for, by a show of hands? Same 2 hands go up. Let me ask that again. When John received the revelation, who is the book of Revelation for? You put your hand up a lot too, so I'm not going to call it you. Where's the hands at?
You got Edomites that know the answer to that
Well, you got
question.
vocab alone to know the question to that.
Wow, man.
Go ahead, Ak.
Book of Revelation for Israel.
That's not good enough, brother.
That's a safe
That's
answer.
a
You're gonna
safe
have to go
answer. That's a
deeper,
safe
bro.
answer. You gotta go deeper than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Elect.
huh?
I'm gonna say the elect.
Gotta go deeper.
Gotta go deeper.
You're right on that, but you gotta go deeper. I'm not satisfied with that answer.
Bring it home.
But you're right. Partially. I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to hold on you. This go.
It was for us now, today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, but specifically, who is it for?
Right.
Go ahead. Go to the scripture.
Okay.
Go to Revelation 1.
Yep.
Revelation 1. Bring it out.
Ultimately, it's for us all, of course. The elect. What you gonna say? No, because
no,
Yahushua is giving it to John.
Right.
Giving it to John.
But
Who's it for?
but who's it for? Specifically, who is it for?
Was it a specific church?
Oh,
What?
Was it a specific church?
He's
hot. He's hot.
it's getting warm.
that boy sharp. That
You
boy
acting like
sharp.
you're not sure,
He
man.
on it. He
No,
on
but
it.
he's new. He's new.
Yeah,
So,
Was
but
it-
he's new. So he's right.
He's
But
hot.
you got the fish.
Right. Reel it
You
in.
got to reel it in.
Was it the Church of Corinthians?
No. You can
Now-
say
now
that.
you- now
You
you
can,
get
no,
a-
you can say that. You
Get a
can
little
sort of
cold.
say
Little
that.
cold.
The 7 churches of Asia.
Boom.
That's it.
There you go.
There it is, man.
There you go.
Get them, man. They're here.
I see you should have known that,
wrong.
brother. But that was the second. That was the see. You ain't being on fire. Ask the Most High to give you that spirit back, man. Like I said, I'm gonna say this again. You can ask me a question, and I got to read that.
Right.
I'm not so sure. But there's certain questions you should know. If you ask me 5 questions in the scriptures, I gotta at least answer a couple of them.
Yeah. Like the question you asked that guy, what tribe was the Apostle Paul from? And he didn't know?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Vocab and
Yeah,
everything?
that's right. That's right. Yeah, what tribe was the Apostle Paul? Show of hands. Everybody's hand should go up. What tribe was the Apostle Paul from? I already know you know. It ain't easy, but it ain't hard. What tribe was the Apostle Paul from? And give me a scripture to prove it. What tribe was he from? The tribe of Benjamin. Can anybody give me a scripture? I know you know that. So you back in the race, brother. See, you getting mad, man.
Get mad at yourself,
Get
man.
mad. Get mad at yourself. Get
you
mad
should.
at yourself.
I'm not
Get
saying
mad
not
at
towards
yourself.
y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
you should
not-
get
No, get mad at yourself.
At
Oh
yourself.
yeah, if I was to get
Yeah,
mad, it
yeah.
would be towards myself. But
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
a lot of men that was, sit up here and let spirits and demons jump on and they walk away like a woman feeling some type of way. That's not me.
There you go. Get mad at yourself, man.
Yeah, get mad at yourself.
gotta learn to
You get mad at us too. I don't give a damn anybody get mad, but get mad at yourself. Go ahead, Doc.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, hath the Most High cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Of the seed of Abraham of the tribe of Benjamin.
Boom.
So he was an actual Israelite, man. What other questions do you got? Help me out.
Bring it out.
Okay, this is a hard one. Give me Daniel 8, the 626,000, whatever. Give me that.
All right. You want straight to the point, or
Straight
you
to
want...
the point.
All right. This is Daniel 8 and 14, and he said, I'll read 13. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice, and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be tried underfoot? And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed.
Okay, so what is that talking about? What time period is that talking about by a show of hands? It's a little bit harder question. Go a little bit more.
Antiochus Epiphanes.
You're right. You're right. You're right. So what happened during that time? What did that time period act? You're right on that, but I want some more to it. What happened?
So when the Tigers came over to power, he basically came and took over Israel. He destroyed everything in the temple.
He defied the temple. So they defiled the temple for that many days, which adds up, I believe it's 6 years. It adds up to 6 years. I got another question. Yahweh Shai, and somebody can bring out the precept. Yahweh Shai said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of in Daniel, what was he talking about? And give me a scripture.
You talking about Daniel, the 9th chapter, where Daniel.
Yeah, yep. But there was another. Go to it.
You want Matthew 24, Apostle?
Go to Matthew 24. Read that first.
Okay. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
So no what? So give me the precept.
There's one in Daniel 9 and I think Daniel 12.
You're right. So read both of them.
This is Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate.
Who's the desolate? And that determination will be poured upon the desolate.
That was Israel and Jerusalem at that time.
Right, they were getting punished. Read again, up.
Daniel 9 and 27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week.
What time period is that?
The time of 66 to 73 AD.
That's right. That was 3 years. Yep. It was 7 years altogether. The first 3 years they were cool with him. Then that next 3 years, from 70 to almost 74, that's when they performed the abomination and make it desolate. They raided the temple. Go ahead and read it.
Can I ask you a question, bro? Did you take notes when you first learning that?
Oh yeah.
Some of you new guys, you should be taking notes. How long you been in this thing?
About a year now.
Yeah, you should be
Well, you're
taking
new,
notes.
but you gotta,
You should be taking
like
notes.
you gotta eat it, man. You know, you gotta be like Pat. You gotta have a Pat man spirit. Eat up everything.
This is what Apostle Olatal meant by we're not here to entertain. You should have a notebook. You should be taking notes, right?
What you gotta understand is, we were on the other side, just like y'all on the other side right now.
You're taking notes.
And I had to what? Go to the classes, sit down, listen to the teachers.
Take notes.
Take notes.
And then when I learned and I grew in the spirit, there were certain times where I challenged my own teachers and showed them where they went off. A couple of times I showed High Priest Ariel that he went. I used to pull him to the side and look. I didn't say it disrespectfully,
Right.
but I would go through it and he would look it over and then he would say, you're right, and have a class. He didn't have no pride. You out to school, you know? He taught. He said, this is what it means.
Yeah, when I first came in, especially all the Apostle Paul's class, and I ain't just saying it because he's here, it's true. He'll back me up on that.
Oh, yeah.
I take notes, man, 3-4 pages of notes.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll take notes and I couldn't even keep up all the knowledge that was coming out. That's why he's so proficient, because you just heard it. He took notes.
Yep.
So that's why you should be taking notes, if you're really serious about this.
And you got to go over this and over this and over. You can't just go at one, I got it. No, you ain't got it. You're going to forget it.
Yep.
You got to go over it and over it and over it until it becomes
Second nature.
second nature. Really first nature.
First nature. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because you want to become a teacher.
First nature. Yeah.
That's your goal, is to be a teacher. Just like Elder Pastor Hall is teaching. That's going to be you one day.
Because the Most High didn't call in an audience. He called in teachers.
Laborers. Pray
He called in laborers, man.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown.
Yeah, so that means if you got an athlete that's going to go to the Olympics, he might have to break cut his girl off, man. To be dedicated. If you want to be a lawyer and you're going for them exams, you can't be partying. You got to study, man. Whatever you get into, you got to do it, you know, with your all, man. Be disciplined. And this is a problem with Israel, man. You're supposed to be on fire. Okay?
I got one.
Because you're working for the top man.
That's it.
You're working for the top
boss. Yeah.
You don't want no sloppy work.
Yeah, you ain't working for the fucking white man.
Right.
You working for the Most High, man.
Yep.
And you dragging your feet with the Most High.
You don't want no sloppy work. You want stock
Give
market.
diligence to make that calling and election sure.
No slackers.
How should I say, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. How should I not say that? So there you go. So you gotta start taking notes. Right now you were called into this thing. You know what's happening with you? This is a calling. Now the scriptures say, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Part of diligence is taking notes. I gotta take these notes so I remember this stuff. So I know it. So when that time comes, if I'm put on the spot, bam, boom, bam, I got it. Just like he's doing.
Then Most High say an unjust balance is an abomination. So if it, you know, if he doesn't see fit, like you said, he's gonna spit you up.
Yeah.
Oh, he gonna kick that balance. He gonna kick that balance to the curb, man.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Right now you've just been called, but like we gave you examples. We took notes, man. That's how we learned this stuff. So, you know.
I got a definition of the word mastery in 1 Corinthians 9:25 and the blue letter.
Hold up. Why are we out here in the wintertime and certain other camps take the winters off? Because they're not diligent, man.
They're on fire.
They're not on fire. We're going to be out here in the wintertime. I hope y'all going to be out here too. When I say that, I mean the camps that y'all go to and, you know. Now fuck that, man. We at the end of this thing. You see the MOTVs right around the corner. It's already here, man.
I got a precept.
Well, just a definition of the word mastery, right? It says to struggle, literally to compete for a prize, figuratively to contend with an adversary, or the majority of the time, the main adversary is yourself. You gotta
we
copy
always
this.
say that.
Yeah.
We're our worst enemy.
Yo,
Like a boxer, right? Boxer, before he prepares for a fight, he ain't lounging.
Settle about
This guy, he's doing his road work. He's doing all
What
this.
did Floyd Mayweather say? Hard work, dedication.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You think Floyd would have won all the championships if he wasn't working out hard? Manny Pacquiao, that dude work out, and that motherfucker was running up the hill. The last fight he had, every video of him running up a hill, you know, running 8 miles, you know. It's dedication, man.
Hard work, dedication.
The Apostle Paul compared this truth to running a race. He compared this truth to wrestling. He compared this truth to boxing. Not beating at the air, man.
Well, another thing we used to do, we had those tape recorders. Back in the day, we had those little tape recorders, and they played both sides of the cassette. Yeah, they would. And we would constantly listen to the
But
classes,
now you got
man.
the YouTube.
Yeah. We constantly.
You go back home, you watch this all over again.
Yeah, but that was
Oh, I
back in
should
the
have
day.
said that. Oh, I knew. Next time, you know.
And we would play them tapes. And the beautiful thing about that recorder is it plays both sides. So it was a continuous play. So we'd keep listening to it, till we finally got it.
Yep.
And then the spirit kicks in too, bro. The spirit works with you. Because the spirit will work with you if it sees that you're diligent. It says, okay, let me help this guy. Right? Tell them, stop me whenever I'm going off. Okay? Because this thing of ours is spiritual.
Let's go back to what I say, Hebrews 4 and 1.
Hebrews 4 and 1. Let us therefore fear, lest the promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them.
But the word preached did not profit them. The guys that came in and the guys that got weary and went back into the world, and this truth did not profit them, man. That's why they're back in the world, and they're going to take the chip. They're going to take that chip, and they're already taking that goddamn fucking juice, the juicy juice. You had a testimony about a month ago of one of our brothers that works in the same job with a guy that used to be in the truth, but he fell off. And a guy that's part of IUIC, this brother said he got exempted, you know? The guy from the IUIC said, nah, you got to get, and he went ahead and took it. And he told that brother, I felt like my faith left me. And Nathan them tried to console him, because you can't console him, brother. The man already fought. He's done. He's done, man. Go ahead.
Back to Hebrews 4 and 2. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them.
The word preached did not profit them, man. Go ahead.
Not being mixed with faith.
Why? Because of lack of faith. Lack of faith. And ultimately not being a part of the elect.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest. As he saith, or as he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place of a seventh day on this wise, and the Heavenly Father did rest the seventh day from all his works. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest. Seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief.
Ooh. Read that again.
Hebrews 4 and 6. Seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached.
The ones that first came in, right? Some of the seven. Go ahead.
And they to whom it was first preached entered not in.
So them said not all the seven is gonna make it.
Yeah.
Because they did not they first come in?
Yeah, that's right.
So anybody that said, well, the seven said this, no, we ain't listening, we ain't dealing with those seven, man. I'm not trying to disrespect them or nothing like that, but some of them went off. Go ahead.
And they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. Because of unbelief. Again, he limited a certain day, saying in David, today after so long a time, as it is said, today if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For if Yahushua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day. There remaineth therefore rest to the people of the Heavenly Father. Now, when is that rest going to be? Anybody can jump in on that.
The kingdom.
I did say anybody. Yeah, we're going to rest in the kingdom, man. Now it's not our rest.
Give me Hebrews 6 and 4 and done.
That's what the scripture, he would give you rest from my sorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we need it. We need it. We need it.
Yeah.
We need it.
Hebrews 6 and 4. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gift and were made partakers of the Holy Spirit.
They went out to the camp, they put the fringes on the garment, they grew their beard, they stopped eating pork, they stopped eating shrimp, they started keeping the high holy days. Go ahead.
And have tasted the good word of the Most High and the powers of the world to come, if they shall fall away to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucify to themselves the Son of the Most High
In other
afresh.
words, they went back out into the world, and then they're going to try to get back in. They see the day approaching. They see the jabs being put out there. So they get scared, so they want to run back into this thing. And all you're going to do is get dirty looks. All you're going to hear is go to the sellers and buy. Like I said, a lot of these different Israelite groups, because we're the only one that's teaching 100% truth. These other groups, When I say that, I'm talking about the brothers that teach in like manner the way we teach, man. Because in the spirit, y'all are G and us.
Right.
You know? Go ahead, Al.
Well, quick precept, you mentioned dirty looks. Luke 14:29, it says, just going into if you intend to build a tower, it says,
that's one of my favorites. Go ahead.
It says, lest haply after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold him begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Yeah, because you came out on fire, you was holding posts, speaking, teaching. All of a sudden, you don't see this guy no more. But the Passover come around, he'll be at the Passover. Folks, I ain't dealing. He's just an Israelite. There's the Israel of the Most High, Galatians 6, and he's just an Israelite. He's just a Jake that knows he's an Israelite. That ain't nothing special. Don't make him a prophet.
And that's the last thing Yahushua said before he gave up the spirit. It is finished. And everything that was written about him that he was going to go through on the planet Earth, he knew it was done.
Even the Apostle Paul said that. Give me that second Timothy, the 4th chapter. Key point is around about the 5th or 6th. You can start the first.
2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. I charge thee therefore before the Most High and the Lord Yahushua, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom.
What's the quick and the dead mean? I know you're going to know. Anybody else want to take a shot at that? Quick and the dead?
And what does it mean to be quick?
Quick and the dead.
With the spirit, to be quick and alive,
Right.
ain't alive.
It's like in this truth, right?
Life.
Right.
Yeah.
And the dead.
The dead is like they that won't die out of the way of understanding.
Yeah, those that don't know the
Sit.
truth.
Sit.
There you go. You got it. That's it.
Making a comeback. He's back in the game. He's born again hard.
Hey, well, that's why you
Because he's
came here
mad.
for.
Because he's mad at himself.
Yeah. That's why you came here for. Man's goings of the Lord. Obviously, the Lord must love him. That's how it works, man.
You around, you fighting, you see that it's
That's how it
coming. That's beautiful, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You here, man. You here.
Well, that's why he came here.
Yeah.
That's what you came for.
Yeah, like 2 Timothy 4 and 2. Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Yeah, you got a GOCC, them clowns, teaching that Edomites can make it. Basically, that's a church organization. Go ahead.
They should just start going, shut them out, la la la.
Yeah.
The same shit.
Go ahead.
But after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears.
That basically means that, you know, the teacher teach anything and you just blindly accept it. Whatever this fool says, because he got a nice garment on, you just gonna blindly listen to it. That's why to this goddamn day, you got people that can't see that the MOTB is the fulfillment of Revelation 13. Because they have not grown, right? They have not grown. Now when you go to like Nate's videos, now you got a lot of guys that go out there that I give credit to. Them guys, the spirit be on them. So I believe a lot of them are part of the elect, man. But you got a lot of them that are watching videos and they're putting comments, don't even put in scriptures. Great video. Fuck all that great video shit.
Yeah.
Help me out. Whatever I say, add to it. Give me precepts, man.
Throwing logs in the fire.
We don't need no quiet when the comments go. Go ahead, Al.
I looked into the word for itching ears, and it's in the Greek is natho, and it says desirous of hearing something pleasant.
Right. Yep.
Smooth thing.
Speak unto us.
Give me that in
smooth.
Isaiah. Give me that in Isaiah.
I got it. I got it for you. Isaiah 30.
They want Q-tips.
They come from like what's already installed in you because you
Which makes you the elect. If you're one of the elect, no matter what you do, you're gonna be delivered. Even if you go off. So like High Priest Ariel is lukewarm, he ain't really doing the work. But if he's one of the elect, which I believe he is, the Most High is gonna pass him anyway. So, but you don't want to try that, brother. You don't want to test that theory, man.
Yeah, right.
That's why Peter said, give diligence to make that call of election sure. You know?
Those are wise words. Isaiah 30:9, it says, well, I started at 8. Now go write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people, lying children.
That's why so many of them come into it and they fall off. They take 2 years off and then they come back with a whole different doctrine. All of y'all know about Folky, right? Y'all know about Folky, right? The guys, they kind of played Barack and them. Then they were coming up here, they were going to the box camp, then they were going to this camp, they were going to that camp. Then all of a sudden, they didn't do it for about a year and a half, 2 years. Then they came back with a completely different doctrine. Most I ain't dealing with them.
That's the 7 spirits that take over.
That's it.
Come back.
And when it's really 8 spirits. It's the one spirit that brings 7 more, which is 8 spirits, and the other 7 spirits are mightier than that one spirit. So it's hard to try to come in this, man, to come back into this thing. We seen guys fall off and try to come back and not come back, man.
Isaiah 30:9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, that's the prophets, right? The seers.
And we're the prophets. We're the seers. Go ahead.
Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Now I was just taking a look at that word smooth things. Now really the path of this truth is rough.
Straight gate. Straight gate.
Straight gate, entering in through the straight gate. Now you look up that word straight, it means a position of difficulty. This thing of ours is not supposed to be smooth. It's supposed to be rough. What's it say in the Apocrypha? My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. So before we get the honor, we're going to be humiliated. We're going to be brought, like you thought you caught hell before you came into this or learned this? Nah, now you're really going to catch hell. Because now you have to be tested. And then you got to prove to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua you're worthy of getting that crown.
We're all being tested right now on their jobs.
Right.
How many of you brothers work on jobs that they kind of hitting at you? You got to take the jab. So you know you ain't gonna take it, right?
I had to tell my boss I was gonna take it.
So what did he say?
Well, he tried to negotiate with me, but I said I'm not. Ain't no way I'm taking it. And luckily I was able to opt out and work from home. But,
okay, good. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah, there's a scripture where it says there's no temptation that have taken you, but the Most High will make, roughly paraphrasing, someone can get, it says the Most High will make a way for you to endure that temptation.
Make a way out.
Make a way out.
It's funny, my boss name is Roman. So I knew what time
so
it was.
is he an Edomite?
Yeah, I think so. Or he's something. He speaks Russian or
He's a Roman.
Damn.
Roman Edomite.
I have a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew 3, verse 11. It says, I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire, whose fan is in his hand.
Yeah, that fire is talking about the tribulation you get coming into this truth. All of us, just like Yahushua carried his cross, right? All of us got to carry our cross, whatever it may be. Individually. So
we're all going to be tested individually.
I want you,
especially with the mark, the charagma. You're all going to be tested, man. You know?
Yeah, I want you brothers to get that this is not supposed to be a smooth ride. Anybody that's telling you that's a liar. He's not dealing with the scriptures. This is supposed to be the most roughest thing we can do, but there's a reward at the end of it. That's the crown that Yahushua is going to place on our heads. And Ezra, what's that?
Much wisdom comes much grief.
Exactly. That's right. The wiser you get in this thing, the more grief you get, because now your eyes are open, and then you
Surely a person make a wise man mad.
Make a wise man mad. Your eyes are open, now you have to deal with all this shit, you have to look at all these BS and still deal with it. So that's why he said what he said. You had your hand up?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it on.
2 Timothy 2 and 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua. No man that warreth entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Yeah, if your woman get in your way, you gotta cut her off, man.
Right, I offend you.
Now you're gonna have women. Well, the Apostle Paul said that I warn you shall have trouble in the flesh. They're all gonna give you trouble, man. If they ain't giving you trouble, there's something wrong with you. I mean, Satan is with you. You know, you got brothers got 5 wives, don't get no problem with their 5 wives. That means the devil's with you, man.
Hey, like polite.
Go ahead.
It's Proverbs 15:21. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom.
That's it.
Ooh. I got something. This is Ecclesiastes 6 and 18. My son, gather instruction from thy youth up, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast it from him ere it be long.
That's why certain guys fall off. They can't deal with the discipline that it takes to be in the ministry. Or they might get rebuked and they get offended.
Or the Lord didn't come fast enough.
Yeah. Yahushua made a statement, said, blessed are ye that's not offended in it. There are times in this ministry offense will come up.
Yep.
But it's our job to deal with it. We gotta deal with it, move on. Because what is the goal? We want to get that crown, man. We want that day when Yahushua put placing the crowns on each man's head. We want to be part of that. Don't you brothers want to be part of that? I know I do. When Yahushua is placing them crowns, I want to be one of them guys there. Please, you know? Because that means you're perfect. You understand what that means?
You all show the same diligence.
Yeah. That means we're going to be perfect, man. No more suffering, no more negative thoughts, no more bullshit, man.
Esau's going to be our slaves, and the other nations going to be our slaves. We're going to have our women going to be in order. We're going to have concubines.
That's the goal, man. You play basketball, the guy who's dribbling the ball, what the fuck is he looking at? He's looking at that goal, man. He's doing all that fancy shit, but you better believe at the end of the day, that ball is going through that hoop so the points can be scored. But there it is. The goal is getting that crown, man. That's what Apostle Paul talked about. He told Timothy that. What's that, 2 Timothy 4 and 8? I know that there's a day where the Heavenly Father will place, roughly paraphrase.
We'll read that. Who had that? Let's continue to read that. Who had that? 2 Timothy 4. Go ahead. Read we left off.
It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 6. For I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. What does it mean when he said, I am ready, now I am ready to be offered? Same 2 hands. Yeah, he's about to die. Okay, now for extra points, give me the scenario of how he was going to die.
I believe he was going to be beheaded.
By what? Give me the whole story. Paint a picture.
Okay,
in my mind.
So I know after they took him to Rome, he was basically like under house arrest for a while.
Yep.
And then they were going to go take him on his appointed day. They were going to chop his head off.
Right. Right. In other words, he said it right. In other words, he was going back and forth before Caesar. Remember, he went before Felix,
Yep.
he went before Agrippa, and then ultimately he went before Caesar, right? That was during the time period of Nero. Not just Nero, I believe. Who was the one before that? Claudius, I think.
Claudius.
He was around during a couple of seasons, but
Yeah.
when he was put to death, it was during the reign of Caesar. Now you know who Caesar is, right? Caesar's still around talking shit. You know?
Trump.
But anyway, he would go before trial, and they found him guilty. Really, they found him guilty of sedition. Does anybody know what the word sedition means? It's in the scriptures, saying two hands, more hands up. Sedition.
Sedition is when a group of people go against their government.
Speak louder.
When a group of people go against their government or authority.
No, it's good. That's good. But that's not it. That's not it.
Cause conflict amongst men.
You're right, but give me some more. Give me some more. Say something. Give me some more information. You said it right, but I want you to paint a picture in my mind.
So it's like if you got somebody speaking and then the audience is getting riled up by what he's saying,
Right,
getting ready to,
right. What was this guy, Trump, they're trying to charge him with that thing, which he didn't do it. He didn't tell him to go in there and beat people up and break, he didn't say that. But they went right to him, the left went to him. But he didn't do it, man. Now, if he said, go in there and take him out, kill him, then that's sedition. And if you say, well, I didn't kill nobody, but you were the one that egged people on to take,
You incited them.
you incited it, man. So that's what they got the Apostle Paul on. Sedition.
That's kind of interchangeable with insurrection, right?
It's the same thing.
It's like a synonym for insurrection.
Exactly. But it's word. Insurrection is the actual act. It's when somebody in the government takes over the current government. All right, by a revolution. And that's happened through history. All right? You have people that were part of the same nation, but they didn't like this guy. Perfect insurrection was Julius Caesar. The Senate, they set him up, they stabbed him up. And then they put in a new rule up in there, man. But the difference between insurrection and sedition is when you say the words. And that's what they're looking to charge us for. You know? Go ahead, Al.
What we're doing in this ministry is the opposite of sedition.
But to them it's sedition.
Right.
To them it's sedition. Because we're saying that there's going to be another Lord that's going to come down and take you down and kill you. So that is sedition. You know?
That's why they put Apostle John.
Treason, exactly.
Yeah. Which we're never really part of this world anyway, so in reality it really couldn't be treason because we ain't part of this world anyway.
That's right. If this was my kingdom, my servants would fight.
Yeah, I wish I said
And this is what they don't like. They don't like the fact that we calling ourselves Israelites.
Right.
And they knew that we're Israelites.
Yeah. Because they still look at us as slaves. In other words, how dare you slaves have an attitude? How dare you slaves have a different independent mentality? You're just slaves. No, we're not slaves. We're the Israelites.
We're the Lord's freemen.
We're the Lord's freemen. You got your hand.
So would it be right to say that most Israelites who take down on TV are guilty of treason?
They're to the Most High.
Yeah,
They're
against
to
the
the
Lord.
Most High.
Oh yeah.
And guess what the Most High going to do? The Most High going to kill him.
Right.
You going to kill?
We ain't gonna bargain with them. You know,
Once
plus
you take that chip, you won't get killed.
Most I gonna say he want them spirit.
You gonna get lasered, man. You gonna get. Hey, Johanna, his fat ass, she better start losing weight so you can run down the fucking block. You gonna be wobbling down the street,
Zip.
and all of a sudden, zap, smoke. You gonna get smoked for real.
Yeah, how should I say it best? It said, let them alone, they be blind, leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, so that's why he set up.
And now look at Nate.
Yeah.
Look at Nate. He's sick. The last video he did, I was watching last night.
Yep.
He didn't even normally show his face, right? He's showing pretty face, right? He didn't even show his face in the video. Because he's still suffering from that sickness.
I gotta grease up.
Now I believe he's one of us,
Right.
you know?
It
I
is-
believe he's one of us. Now Johanna, I don't believe he's one of us.
It is
Now
holy.
maybe that sickness, I'm sorry, maybe that sickness is to humble his ass down, man.
And there's no way you can, I just wanted to jump on the energy of what Apostle John was saying. There's no way you can blaspheme the name of the Lord and his son and just skate off into the sunset. It don't
Yeah,
happen
well, he
that way.
continues to call on. Well, oh, hold up. Wait a minute. Give me that James 5.
Yeah.
You know what I want? The elders pray over him.
Yeah, James 5.
Hey, when Hezekiah was sick, he was sick unto death, and they humbled him. He turned to the wall and prayed to the Lord, and the Lord extended his life 15 years. Because sickness is a humbling.
Hey, what if he's a Hezekiah?
It would be.
James 5, and I'll start at 13. Is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing psalms. Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the church, and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
What's the name of the Lord?
Hashem outside. So they're praying over him, but they're praying in the name of Jesus.
Yep.
Jesus, baby, Jesus.
Yep.
Jesus, baby. Jesus ain't gonna get it.
Most High in Christ.
One more verse. Please.
Most High Christ, bless his name.
What the hell is that? That's an insult.
That's weak.
Weak sauce.
Any Christian or anybody that says Jesus, I come in the name of Jesus.
They ain't playing with a full deck.
Yeah,
I come in the name of Jesus. You know he's a dummy. He's a dumb, especially if it's a Jake. He's a dumb nigga that don't know nothing about the scriptures. Because if you knew about the scripture, you would know that his name ain't no goddamn Jesus.
that's right.
All right?
Yep, one more verse. It says, 15th verse, and the prayer of faith shall save the sick. Now, Nate was the same guy back in the day. Y'all probably remember this. He was calling us faith-based Israelites. They were making fun of that. Oh, those guys are faith-based. This whole thing of ours is based upon faith, man. The scripture
So we
says,
read that in Hebrews 4. He's throwing.
yep, it says, be not high-minded, but thou standest by what? Thou standest by faith. That applies to all of us now. You know? 15 verse again, and the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him. Because that's really why we get sick. We're paying for our sins, not only in this life, but in our past life.
Yeah, because we got these weak-ass bodies.
That's why we get sick, brothers. We're paying for what we did. You know what Micah said, right? Micah said, I will bear the indignation of the Lord. Why? Because I have sinned against him. So whatever we go through in this truth, that's the indignation of the Lord. And we deserve it. Because we don't know what we did in our past life. We know what we did in this life. But what about our past life? So we're being punished, man. Yeah.
I got something. This is Ecclesiastes 18 and 21. Humble thyself before thou be sick, and in the time of sins show repentance.
That's it.
Okay, what's up now? Just in my mind.
I got one.
Go ahead.
One more.
We're
This is
going to go back to Revelation 13.
Ecclesiastes 7:17. Humble thyself greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worms.
Oh, read that again, please.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 17. Humble thyself greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worms.
So let's go back to Revelation 13 where we left off.
What verse?
The brother was reading.
Yeah.
Verse 7.
Go ahead.
Revelation 13:7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And that's talking about Esau today.
That's right. Go
And
ahead.
the saints are referring to the Israelites.
Israel. Only Israelites, not the body of believers. Let me ask y'all a question. The term, it's not in the Bible, but it's in Christian theological bullshit. What is meant by replacement theology?
Replacement to replace it. I know theology is God, the replacement of God, or the replacement of the truth, the true knowledge of the Most High.
That's right.
The word.
That's right. But in the sense of Christians, when Christians say that, what do they mean by that? When Christians use the term, theologians use the term replacement theology. Like I said, that's not in the scripture, so I don't expect you to. You don't have to necessarily
Like
get it.
translated is the replacement of the study of God. Loosely translated.
That's what it means, but their term, that's what it actually means, but their term means that they as Christians, the Israelites will pull out
Right.
so that we can come. That's what it means. Look it up.
They replaced
Look it up. Look it up.
They're replacing Israel with the body of believers.
You broke down exactly what it meant, but this is how they break it down. Like literally, replacement theology would mean to replace God with another God. But in Christianity, it means something else. Go ahead.
This is supersessionism. Supersessionism,
That's another name, supersessionism.
also called replacement theology, is a Christian doctrine which asserts that the new covenant through, they say, Jesus Christ, Yahushua, supersedes the old covenant, which was made exclusively with the Jewish people.
So what are they saying? That the Jews got it first, but now we got it. We're the first, which is bullshit, man.
Yeah.
And that's why this fucking clown, Vocab Malone, I think he was at the Dallas camp a couple of years ago. Is there more?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says it holds the view that Christian church has succeeded the Israelites as a definitive people of God.
So anytime you read about the 144,000, it's not talking about Israelites. It's talking about the Christian church, the Edomites, the Moabites, and so forth.
Is that like kind of how when they say they are spiritual Israel?
That's exactly, they used to use that back in the day. Them black churches, we're spiritual Israelites. And they don't realize that they're the actual Israelites. Go ahead.
Which originally goes back to the plan of the elites to merge everybody into one. Because when you got these different separatism of saying, oh, we this, we that, it'd be hard for them to bring in their New World Order. That's why Catholic, it means universal, and that's the mother of church.
That's it. That's
so
it.
It really, the doctrine, it all really goes back to Esau and his New World Order.
That's
for them
it.
to push replacement
And you
theology.
said the Roman Catholic Church and Christianity, they have a universal religion, which is Christianity. That's why the Pope is respected. When the Pope comes to New York, they clean New York up. Because he's part of that system. He's not the beast, he's part of the beast system. Somebody give me the precept, Revelation 16. Go right to the point.
Also, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you mentioned spiritual Israel, right? So how would you combat that? Let's say a wacky-tacky Christian come to you and say, look, it's about spiritual Israel. How would you come? What scripture would you use?
I got it. You wanted the one in,
Okay. Yeah, well, go ahead.
Spirits, it's called?
Yeah.
I mean, what scripture would you use to totally destroy them?
See, when we come together, like I said when y'all came out, I said, y'all coming out here to get your batteries charged. Well, that's true. Y'all coming out here to get your batteries charged. And guess what? We're coming out here to get our batteries charged too. All right? You got to go through this over and over and over again, week after week. Sometimes the same scriptures over and over again until you get it. Once you get them, we can move on, man.
That's it.
You know, once you get them breakdowns, all of us really know all the breakdowns. Daniel 7, Daniel 2, Daniel 8, Daniel 9, Daniel 12, Revelation 1, Revelation 13, Revelation 14. We should know it by heart, man. Without going into notes. He's taking notes because he's learning.
Yeah.
But there's going to come a time, so that note, you don't need the notebook, man.
It'll be up in here.
It's going to be up in here, man. Okay? So this fills your spirit up, man.
Yep.
You think about what you did, you know?
What you got?
Isaiah 46:3.
What's that say?
It says, hearken unto me, O Israel, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, one that's good, but one that's even better is the scripture where it says accounted for the seed. Because when you go into the word, the Greek word for seed is sperm. So that destroys that spiritual Israelite crap.
Oh yeah, the best scripture to go to, and they hate this.
Yep.
Romans the 9th chapter.
That's right.
Somebody go to Romans 9 and 3.
So, bro, you can write that down. So next time you want. Because
Yeah,
that
you want to read it? Go ahead.
That question comes up a lot. That spiritual Israelite nonsense. You're gonna run into a wacky-tacky Christian that's gonna throw that at you. You got it.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the
You can
adoption.
stop right there. You don't got to read no more. How you going to get around that? Read that again, please.
It's the book of
Before
Romans,
you
chapter,
goddamn Christians out there, man.
it's the book of
Wacky
Romans,
taxi Christians. Go ahead.
the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. It says, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises.
Go ahead.
Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen.
That's it.
You know what I got to do? Hey, how you going to get around that? You Christians, how the hell are you going to get around that? You can't get around it, man.
Notice that part
And I'm reading from the New. That's the Old Testament.
Yeah,
No, I'm reading
that's
from
the
the
New
New Testament. I'm quoting what Apostle Paul said.
Yep.
And the Apostle Paul is a patron saint of all Christians.
That's right.
He's the ultimate example of Christianity, right?
Can you read verse 8?
Go ahead, verse 8.
That's the one. Yeah.
Verse 8, Romans 9, verse 8, it says, that is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Now you got to go into the word seed. You break that down.
Promise. Promise goes back to Abraham.
Yeah.
Just letting you know what it's talking about.
With Galatians.
Go ahead, bring it on out.
Said, I think it's 3:15.
So go ahead and read.
But basically, I missed the book chapter verse, but basically it said Israel, Jacob, they had one by the promise and one by the flesh. Then it tell you in Romans that the one by the promise is counted for the seed, and the one by the flesh in Romans 9 and 8, it said these are not the children of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Like
Abraham
when
had more.
when you link those two up.
I think it's on Galatians 4.
Yeah, more than one seed.
Galatians 4.
Galatians 4.
Yeah.
Somebody
Oh,
go
it's
to Galatians 4.
I
Go to
thought it was,
Galatians 4.
3. 4 and what's that, 22?
But when you had read 3, it accounted for the flesh. That's leading up to it. The Apostle Paul he's warming up to it. And then by the time you get to the 8th verse, he just lowers the boom, man. Like, bang. You know? So as you read it, you see the Apostle Paul is building up to it. It's not no spiritual Israelite crap. It goes back to the lineage.
Right.
And everything has always been about lineage.
Right.
Hey, they choose the presidents based upon lineage, man. The international bankers, they're international bankers based upon their lineage.
Right. But then when it comes to the Most High,
Oh
they
no,
could just
everybody
throw
can,
his,
yeah.
yeah, they could throw his thing to the side, you know.
Hey, because if that was the case, the woman at the well, Yahweh Shah wouldn't have cursed her ass out. He said that she didn't know what the hell she was worshiping. You know?
Now the woman at the well, what nationality was she? What nationality was the woman at the well? St. John 4. What nationality was she? She wasn't an Israelite.
Right. She was
Now
a
we
heathen.
had a couple of guys that fell off because in the camp, out of state, they were going around teaching a secret doctrine that woman was an Israelite. She wasn't no Israelite.
She was a heathen.
Now the woman was a Greek and Syrophoenician by nation. What was her nationality?
She was an Israelite.
She was an Israelite. Yep.
To be a Greek, like I argue this point sometimes, to be a Greek isn't like, that's like being an American. That's not an actual nationality. And the Syrophoenician, when you look into it, you had Syria, you had Phoenicia, like Iran. So one was like, you had Syria as a nation, or Phoenicia, that was like an Arabic. So how she could be those like 3 things?
But a Syrophoenician by nation, that means she was living in that land area, right?
Right.
The fact that she was a Greek meant that she was an Israelite that didn't know that she was an Israelite.
Right.
One of the
Like
lost
she,
sheep.
like Cornelius.
Yeah.
At one point of his life, his parents didn't teach him that he was an Israelite.
Right.
But then he found out that he was an Israelite. All of us were Greeks at one time, right?
Yeah.
All of us was Gentiles at one time.
Right.
Well, if even Jake today, they into like the sorority thing.
Oh yeah, that's what proved it. That's what proved it. Jake made the Greeks great any damn way.
Right.
All of them say the 7 sages of Socrates and Aristotle. Those are all Israelites. So-called black men.
That's Yahweh that brought that. Yahweh that brought
Where we at?
these two. He brought this. Oh, you want Revelation 16? Oh no.
Revelation 16, yeah, go to it, and then the brother will go back to Revelation 13. Go ahead.
Revelation 16 and 12. And the 6th angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
So we know who the dragon and the beast is. Who's the false prophet?
Catholic Church.
Right, the Roman Catholic Church and all the daughter churches.
Even
The
Islam.
Baptists, or even Islam. Islam came out of the Roman Catholic Church. When we were ruling the ancient church fathers with Jake, we even came out with the whole concept of a Roman Catholic Church. That came about. Everything Esau got, he got from us.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And all those other baby churches, the Jehovah's Witness, Baptist, Methodist, all those different churches, Seventh-day Adventists, how do we know that they all stem from the Roman Catholic Church? Because they got the same one picture Caesar Borgia. They all recognize this guy, you know?
Around what time did the Edomites got the papacy? What is the papacy, first of all?
It's the Pope, the
Right.
concept of the Pope.
Now, around what time did, because before that it was Jake controlling the papacy. Around what time did Esau get up in the papacy? This for you new brothers.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Around what time did Esau,
Was that?
I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. You're about to learn, you know?
I think it was in the 1600s.
No, it was before that.
Way before that.
Try again.
Way before that.
Why would you say the 1600s?
Because I was thinking of after King James.
Huh?
I was thinking of after King James.
No. Try again.
Let's go.
I was also thinking because of how whitewashed the whole concept of like.
Well, that was way before that. Yeah. So you get one more shot. Try again. Okay.
If you say Renaissance, that's a good, and that's really during the time of about. There was a key year. What was it? 1345 was it?
Around there, yeah.
1345. But it took about a good 100 years for them to fully take Jake down, man.
Yeah. At that time,
Esau started slowly. Okay, well, this is another good question.
Yeah.
That's like Ivan the Terrible, right?
Around that time, you gotta go look that up to see exactly what
I
time.
know he was like 18 something. But because
It was the 1800s.
Well, Ivan the Terrible was like around 18, but I know.
Okay, well that's long after.
Yeah,
Esau, during the time of the when the Turkish, the Ottoman Turks took down the Byzantine Empire, that was around that time, but a little before that. So you had the Turks, Ottoman Turks, which are Islam, which are Edomites, coming from one direction, and then we were fighting against the Edomite that were calling themselves Christians. During the time of iconoclasm, you know, the Renaissance, the rebirth. Go ahead.
So would that be like the end of the Dark Ages?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, who gave it the label the Dark Ages? Esau. When you look at the word the Dark Ages or medieval time, which mean the same thing. Matter of fact, look it up. We went through this before. Look it up. They're going to pretty much say, well, in other words, we didn't know. No, they knew it was happening. They didn't have no fucking power. Excuse my French. Hold up, guys.
Pastor Carl mentioned medieval time. Why was it called medieval time? That's a good question. Medieval of what? Anybody can answer that?
Evil means Evil means bad time, right? Bad time.
Medieval.
So it was evil to Esau. Because Jacob was busting Esau in the ass. So he put his foot up in their asses sideways, man. And their red hairy asses sideways.
But medieval of what? Mid of what? Go ahead.
Mid for one, because the Roman Empire was ruling, we interrupted their rule.
No.
Right? No, medieval times. 'cause
Medieval time. Mid of what?
the
Middle of what?
of their reign.
Middle of their downfall.
The middle of Yahushua returning. AD. Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord. Mid
The
of
middle would
Yahushua.
be, okay, if you could give it an exact year.
Right.
The medieval time lasted for a number of years. Could you give it an exact time of medieval? What year would be medieval? Come on now. What year would be medieval?
What, a time period?
Time period. What year would be medieval?
Like 300 to 1300? That middle point?
That's good, but I'm giving you a middle. Give me a middle time.
Middle.
1,000 years, 1,000 AD.
You got to use the return of Yahushua as the gauge. AD. What does AD mean?
Yeah,
What's the Latin?
Anno.
Domini.
Yeah.
Domini.
I just.
In the year of our Lord's return. Showed you they knew our Lord was going to return. That's what it means, medieval. Mid-time of our Lord returning.
Go ahead, read it.
The Dark Ages. The Dark Ages is a term from early Middle Ages or Middle Ages in Western Europe after the fall of the Western Roman Empire.
Wait a minute. There was two Roman empires, the Western and the Eastern. The Western was ruled by what? Esau, right? And Jake too. So you had the Eastern Empire that was ruling, that was Jake, the Byzantine Empire. Go ahead.
Characterizing it as marked by economic, intellectual, and cultural decline.
Yeah, because they were doing bad. Cultural decline because they were doing bad. Jake was doing good. And this is when Jake was beating the shit out of Esau, man.
The concept of a dark age originated in the 1330s.
If anything, now it's the Dark Age. And it's getting fucking darker.
The concept of a dark age originated in the 1330s with the Italian scholar Petrarch.
Yeah, because he was the one that said that time period back there is a dark age. Why? Because Jake was ruling.
Yeah.
Right. Who regarded the post-Roman centuries as dark compared to the light of classical antiquity.
Yeah, when Esau was ruling. It was dark because dark people were ruling. Is there more?
That's the main point.
Okay.
Byzantine is backwards, right?
Yeah.
They gave that to us, man. They gave that title of Byzantine. Oh, that's the backwards empire.
Well, what is this? Oh, the forwards empire?
This is a bizarre world.
The true Byzantine empire.
Oh, so an empire where a man wants to be a woman and a woman wants to be a man. That's forward, right? That's progression, right?
That's light, right?
Well, that's why the scriptures say this man's the devil. That's why it speaks about him being forgers of lies.
Hey, this guy, Dave Chappelle, did a thing on Netflix. You get on the most. Now in comedy, you get on people. That's why you get on. Esau gets on Jake.
Right.
You know, you laugh at it. You know, this eater might know it's honest, right? Richard Pryor get on Esau, right? And Jake, right? And Moses. Dave Chappelle, he got on Moses, and all of a sudden, now I think it's either 1,000 or 2,000 people that work for Netflix, they want to walk out. Why? Because they're offended. You know? If you ain't proud of your faggoty ass religion, why would you get mad? That's another reason why this devil got to go down.
Gotta go.
So now let's go back to Revelation 13, where we left off.
Revelation 13 and 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Who's written in the book of life? The elect. Beautiful. Are all Israel written in the book of life? No. They're not in the elect. So the people that are not written in the book of life, the Lamb book of life, from the foundation of the earth, the 2/3 are not written in that book. Only the elect. But ultimately, the rest of Israel will come through us. Go ahead. So you got these other Israelite groups saying, we got to wake up all of Israel. No, you don't got to wake up all of Israel. All you got to do is let them hear this word. Not wake them up, because they're not going to wake up. Ezekiel, the third chapter, tell you that, man. He said you're going to go to these people, and they're going to give you dirty looks.
Yep. I was going to say, I was thinking that they are written in the book of life because they received the kingdom as well. But then I realized, like you said, the book of life is talking about the ones that aren't going to receive that judgment.
Right, exactly. The ones that receive the mark. Tell you that in Revelation 7. Tell you that in Ezekiel, in the 9th chapter. Go ahead.
Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Esau hates that verse. Hey, if you go to take that verse and go to commentary, you don't want to say it's talking about the Antichrist. What the fuck you talking about, man?
Yeah, everything is the Antichrist.
The anti-type.
Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints.
Yeah, we're going to be able to execute that in the kingdom.
Yeah, the Lord is saying, don't worry about it. They put you in slavery.
Right.
They kill you with the sword, but guess what? Have faith, because you're going to be able to do the same thing.
Yeah. The first one that's going to start it off is Yahushua.
Who is this that comes from Edom?
What's that?
Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed
Right
garments?
comes from Bosra.
Yep.
That's Yahushua coming with those chariots, man, and bringing us damage to Esau.
And I can't wait.
Oh, man.
I can't wait till this motherfucker go down. I can't wait till this fucking America get fired up.
We're tired of it. We're honestly tired of this place.
And see, these Edomites hate who? Edomites hate who the most? They hate Israelites, man.
Yep.
You know? They hate us, man. They want to see us dead. They want to see us gone.
Especially the elites. The elites of Esau. See, our people, they think that Esau really loves them. Wait when Esau really shows his horns, man. When he really comes out
Hey, shalom, man.
and shows his horns, and that's when you brothers are going to be glad you buckled down and got into this truth, man. You got all the way into it. Because that's the only answer, man. You know, it tells you that in Psalm 91, because we have made the Most High our habitation. What does that mean? I mean, this is all we think about. This is all we meditate on. That's why we become so good at it, because this is good. When you think, if you're thinking of only one thing, you're going to become good at it. You know?
Your first priority is this truth.
Yeah.
You know, it's come before your mother, it's come before your woman, your girlfriend, your family, your children. You know?
Revelation 13:11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
What's that talking about?
That's talking about America today. That's talking about the.
Does everybody agree? Thank you. Americans. Because the 2 horns represent, you know, the left and the right, the Republicans and the Democrats. The Demorats.
Demorats.
That goes.
Demo-rats.
With the plebeians, right?
Is that, the plebeians and what else? The plebeians. There you go.
Patrick means noble. Patricians, noble, nobility.
It also means fathers.
Fathers, yep, fathers.
Patriot.
Yep,
That's where you get the word patriot.
Yep,
To be
patriot.
patriotic, noble, fatherly.
Yep,
And the plebeians mean the people.
the people, yep, the common folk.
Yep. You got a place in Colorado called Pueblo, Colorado. Pueblo means people. You got the common people, then you got the patricians, which are Republicans today. So this is Rome all over again, man.
Same Senate House,
That's right.
everything laid out the same way.
Yep.
Roman
Symbol
columns.
is eagle.
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah, the pillars,
If
yep.
you go down to D.C., And how many of y'all ever been down to DC? Okay, okay. When you go down there, when you go to the Capitol, where the Capitol is, it looks like a scene out of Rome. Look like a scene out of Rome, man. The pillars, the white stone, you know, the dome of the house. That's Rome right there.
The Rockefeller Center is like that out here. Rockefeller Center is like that out here.
So, yes, somewhat, yeah. Wall Street,
yeah,
Wall
Wall
Street,
Street.
yep. That main building with George Washington as in the form of a statue, that looked like straight out of Rome. You know?
Revelation 13:12. And he exercises.
Rome, New York, yep. Yeah, there's an actual place called Rome, New York. But there's a couple of places in New York that have Greek names. Ithaca, New York. I remember I did a lesson on that. Go ahead. New Canaan, Connecticut.
Babylon, Long Island.
Babylon, Long Island. Roman numerals, yep. When you're in 4th grade, you learn about the Roman numerals. Why would you learn about the Roman numerals if this is America and we're supposed to be speaking English? The Super Bowl is based upon, it's played in an arena, right?
Yeah.
And every Super Bowl is in Roman numerals, man. So this is Rome all over again, man.
Arena.
That's the gladiator arena all over
The
again.
amphitheaters.
Huh?
The amphitheaters.
The amphitheaters.
Set up under the fleece.
That's it. That's it.
Back up what Pastor was saying, that's the woman riding the beast. The beast is the Roman Empire. The woman is America. The woman is riding the beast because she's kind of part of the beast.
Yeah.
Because she represents the Roman Empire.
The beast is holding her up.
Yeah.
That's why out of the whole beast, the Most High is going to jack up one part of the beast, which is America, man. All right? He's not going to just jack up the whole, all those NATO nations, EU nations. They're going to, certain parts of their kingdom is going to be destroyed, but it's going to be built back up. Europe is going to be here when the kingdom is established. But we're going to be ruling up in Europe, man. Where we at?
Revelation 13:12. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him.
Okay, so now, and he exercises all the power of the first beast. So we know that there's two different beasts.
Yep.
And you said America, right? You said America, you said the Republicans and the Democrats with the 2 horns came up as a lamb but spake as a dragon. When did the America start speaking as a dragon? Right now.
Yeah. I was gonna say like 1950s.
Not really, because you know, if certain jakes, they can go to court and stuff. Now Esau is like, fuck, speaking of the dragon, is this jab, all right?
Yeah, because that word
Severe.
there you go.
Severe.
Very good.
Draco.
Dragon is known for its look, keen. They can see through things. And a dragon is known for its meanness. So this is not America no more, man.
Yeah, really it changed after 9/11. Then they brought in that draconian legislation, Patriot Act 1.
But it wasn't really
Patriot Act
enacted.
2. No,
It really wasn't enacted because things after the World Trade Center, things kind of went back to normal. Things did go back to normal, right? Now with this thing, the Crown Vic Royale, that's when they started speaking. You know, at first they brought it out so you can take it, it's going to help you. And they're seeing that people don't want to get it, so now they're going to be harder and people speak as a dragon. They're speaking as a dragon now. Somebody said, you was telling me in the car coming down here, that y'all ain't going to go back to normal until everybody gets it.
Yep.
Now let's say there's an actual Crown Vic Royale. Any plague, there's a thing called, not natural immunity, herd immunity. What does herd immunity mean?
That eventually everyone gets their immune system builds to what the plague is. So everyone kind of like gets immunity from what had happened.
But what do you have to do with it? You're talking about natural immunity.
Okay.
I'm talking about herd immunity. What is herd immunity?
If enough people get vaccinated, then they're telling the public that They need 70% or more.
That's it. Any plague. They said if you can vaccinate 70% of the people, then the rest of the 30% will be all right. So what are they saying now? Everybody got to get it. So you know that they ain't talking about no herd immunity, man. You know there's something behind that shit. Fucking Johanna got some nerve telling them, go ahead, we know that the white man's the devil, but go ahead and take it anyway. He's gonna have to, that's gonna come back to haunt him, man. I put that video up, part of what he said. I didn't even say too much and they took my video down.
So,
And then they blocked me for a while. They popped me a couple of times. Go ahead.
this is an RT article. U.S. Treasury Deputy Secretary warns unjabbed Americans that shortages will continue until everyone is jabbed.
Yeah, so that it has nothing to do with herd immunity, man. And what builds up your immune system, if you lock somebody in a motherfucking house, you got to stay in your house. You can only run out for 1 hour to go to the supermarket or whatever. You can't go to the gym. Going to the gym builds your immunity. You brothers work out, right? Eating the right foods builds your immunity, right? Going outside as much as you can, getting vitamin D from the sun gives you builds your immune system, right? So they said everything opposite of that. They did everything to make you weaken your immune system, man. And none of them said eat right. Not one of them said eat right. Trump or this guy, this clown, not one of them called for national prayer because they're not godly people.
Right. Yeah, even taking cold showers builds up your immunity.
There's a lot of ways to build up your immunity, man. Not no fucking jab, bro.
Nah.
No.
Because you're putting a foreign substance in to help.
You don't know what it is because they ain't
Right.
telling you what the fuck it is, man.
It's chemical.
So all you niggas that take it, good, keep taking it.
Hey, because your body does naturally what they're trying to artificially make it do.
Yeah, because certain people are going to die. Who's going to die? The ones with the weak immune system.
That actually weakens your immunity.
Huh?
It causes your immunity to weaken because now you're relying on that.
And not allowing your body to build,
You know, I looked up that word immune. It means in service. That's from the Latin. It means in service. So when the Heavenly Father created the body, He created it with the ability to service itself.
Go ahead, you got a question.
Now, I was going to say, because they say that the thing is supposed to replicate natural immunity, but then they don't account natural immunity. So what's the point? You're saying that you're giving me this because that's the goal. But
Just let him alone and let nature, there's a saying, let nature take its course.
How the hell can shooting up chemicals in you be natural immunity? That don't even make sense. It's not natural, it's chemicals.
Go ahead, Al.
And they were saying that from the jabs, you can only get, I think, 5 to 7 years of immunity. So it's temporary. But
No, they're saying now. That's why you got to keep getting boosted.
6 months.
Now they're saying 6 months it wanes. At first, all you need is one jab, and it'll cure you. Then they're saying, well, it won't cure you, but it'll help you. So you got to keep taking boosters. So they got, and then, man, you niggas, man, on radio and TV, trying to shame Jake into getting this motherfucker. Jake, and they're having a problem with getting Jake. Jake ain't taking that shit. And them crackers down south, them Bible Belt devils, they ain't taking it either. You know?
And that's why the scriptures say, when possible, they shall deceive the very elect. It's not possible. The elect are going to see right through all that madness.
And Esau knows that's the Revelation 13th chapter. Apocalyptos. They know that what it is. Most Jake don't know. Kyrie Irving, he don't know what it's all about. But maybe he does. Maybe he saw us. There's something in his spirit that's saying, don't take it. Even though he's going to lose a lot of money. Now LeBron James, he's going to take it. He already did take it.
Which means it's not part of the elect.
Dwayne Wade, you know he took it. Huh?
I remember the apostle, it was like a few months back, Apostle of Rumlock, who did a video on your natural vaccination. Let's just say vaccination. was your tonsils, and how your tonsils are basically pulling things from out the environment and send it to your immune system to make antibodies to it. So you didn't have to really do an injection outside of you. You had your tonsils for your natural vaccination. It was a wild battle.
That's why you don't take your tonsils out, man.
Right. The appendix,
That's your first
appendix
defense.
is another one.
Huh?
The appendix, that's another one too.
Appendix, yeah.
Thyroid gland.
They said they don't know what it's for, so they just cut it out.
Yeah.
Because he saw the fucking devil, man.
That's why they offer you
goddamn
ice cream.
Everybody don't need it. Cut it out.
Hey, you niggas, and you niggas, when I say niggas, I'm talking about all the tribes. Keep taking it, man. Because you marked for death when you got that.
That's it.
The logic of the devil. There it is. The Heavenly Father created the body, right? Every part is neat. It's like a watch. Each part.
This devil saying the Most High is not perfect.
Yeah. Like a watch, right? A high, like a Swiss watch. Each part depends on the other part for it to work perfectly, right?
Mechanism.
Right? So the Heavenly Father created the body. Everything is needed, man. But here comes Esau. You don't need that. Take it out.
When dogs get sick, what do? They eat grass. Because what's in the grass is going to heal them.
Big 17.
No, chlorophyll. Chlorophyll.
I thought that grass had the.
It probably might do to a certain extent, but it's chlorophyll. But B17 is a whole different thing. But if you were to get cancer and you take the B17, that'll cure your cancer, reverse your cancer. Right?
Apricot, Scott.
Right, the seed,
The seed
yep.
of the apricot.
Seed of the apricot, yep. I see, you gotta know the sciences, man.
That's it.
You know? We don't be running to the doctor for every goddamn thing. A lot of times you do the study, and you naturally how to heal this naturally, how to heal that naturally. You know?
And there's even a study even fasting, man. That's why the scriptures speak about fasting. Fasting is a natural cleanser. You got something called, what is it, Apoptis? Apoptis? That's where the cell starts eating. Right? The cell of the body starts eating the bad stuff. Because you're fasting, so the cell is hungry. The cell don't look at, well, let me eat this shit. So it's eating the bad stuff. The body's amazing, man. The way the Heavenly Father created. And then for people to say there's no God, that means they don't know the study of anatomy. If you get into that, you have to come to the conclusion there has to be an intelligent mind to create this thing called the body, man.
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
As complex as it is.
As complex as it is. But again, that's this devil. He's ruling. And the only people he's going to get is the ones that's not part of the elect. He's going to fool them. But the elect, they're going to see right through this devil.
And that's
Keep
Matthew
moving.
24.
If at all possible.
Receive the very elect. So these guys following General Muhammad and Captain Tazariot, they ain't a part of the elect, man.
Like earlier, we were at a restaurant. We had our conversation was above average. And do you know we had this devil behind us? At first he was talking, the motherfucker shut up. His wife was snickering, but he shut up. You know what he was saying? Let me see what these dudes know. He was an Edomite, a straight up Edomite. He was right behind me. And I noticed that. I made an observation. He ain't saying nothing. He was too busy listening to our conversation. Because they know deep down inside, they know, but they have that pride, you know, that the scriptures speak about it, Obadiah. Because we have this color skin, we're superior. They know they're inferior. They know. Because why did that devil shut up? He shut. Man, he was quiet like a church mouse. He was listening to our conversation.
Talking about?
Well, we're talking. Well, I was telling the brothers about Sabel and the video. He did a funny thing on the way to the moon, and how he brought out how the moon landing was fake, and he was bringing all this compelling evidence. Recently, he got interviewed by Patrick Bet-David. Those of you know Patrick Bet-David, he got that channel. What's that? Valuetainment? Valuetainment. Yeah. So this guy, Bart Sabel, he was on the show, and Patrick was going into it, and he was bringing out all this evidence, and you can't get around it. That they faked the moon landing. So this is what we're talking about. Yo, this devil was quiet, and he didn't say one word.
Yeah, I know y'all didn't see the whole interview. Y'all saw part of the video of Joe Rogan. This guy, Sanjay Gupta.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Hey, yo, he made that guy look stupid, man. He made him look stupid. This guy's supposed to be a top doctor. And anytime this guy said, no, we never said that. Joe Rogan said, bring up the tape. So CNN is true. And CNN is a joke.
Yeah. And that's what this guy, Mark Sabelli, was saying. It's amazing how the American people just swallow up lies. And then he was going down the
because
line.
they're stupid, man.
He brought out about, he mentioned, he said the American people believe that Oswald killed Kennedy.
Well, American people believe in fucking Peter Pan, man.
Yeah. He was going down the line.
This is why they hate the Israelites.
Yeah.
You call the white, no. When did we ever talk about the white man today? We kind of threw him in there, threw the devil in there a little bit, right?
Yep.
We were talking about a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
But all they hear is, you call the white man the devil, we going into slavery. Well, wait a minute. What does the scripture say? Let's see what the scripture say.
You gotta leave it to the
That's
devil.
why in slavery, you red asses, you gave us a slave Bible, man.
Yep.
So you gonna get it, man. You are gonna get it. You better hope that there's no most high.
Hey, brothers, now, in contrast, if we were talking about Nicki Minaj or the latest rapper, the album he dropped, you think that devil would have stopped this conversation? I don't think so. He wouldn't have stopped this conversation to listen. Typical niggas talking nigga shit. But then when they
That's
were...
why I don't like niggas, man.
Yeah, but when we were
You
talking...
think KKK don't like you niggas? I despise you niggas.
That's the truth.
You know what I hate more than nigga? It's
Another
true
thing.
nigga.
Yeah, another thing. Yeah, man. That's real talk, man. If we were talking that other shit, the devil would have kept talking. He would have said, that typical. From the moment they came in, I knew they was going to start talking. One thing, I got to look at it, but now I got to listen to them with that bullshit. But no, we were talking about some above average conversation. He was quiet as a church mouse. He was too busy listening. But these niggas know. Oh shit, really? I didn't know that. I'm a great white man. I didn't know that.
That's a great white man. You're a faggot of the earth.
I'm telling you how these devils think.
You're the scum of the earth.
We're telling you how they think. They really believe they're superior. And that we're inferior and they're superior. They're going to find out the hard way, man. We're superior and they're inferior.
So let's read on.
Continuing on Revelation 13 and 12. And he causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast.
Hold up. It said the earth. It said the earth. I bet you if you go to the blue letter and look that up, I bet you the word there is quaking. Them stupid ass Christians don't know the difference between world and one part of scriptures and world and the other part. So God, for God to love the world, he came and died for every living creature. And he gave his only begotten, and he thinking, motherfucker, look the word up, man. Look it up, devil. Look it up, devil. The word world in John 3:16 is cosmos, which means a unit of people, man. You got the white world, you got the country world, you got the rock and roll world.
And the world.
You got, exactly. It's different from the word oikoumene, the whole earth. Bunch of dummies.
You got Israelites that can't get
I
over
got it
that.
on bullet.
Go ahead.
And then it's a Greek word that says gay or guy.
Gia.
Gia, guy, Gia. Which that means, it's not oikoumene, but it's talking about the whole
Earth, yeah.
physical earth. Oikoumene means the whole earth and the people on the earth. You know?
Like that group IUIC said, these guys can't teach their doctrine in the English. They got to go to Paleo Hebrew.
Oh, you know who said that?
Greek.
Paul Person, which is Aithan. You know Aithan, the real tall guy in IUIC. He teaches that he knows that the mark of the beast is like. So I asked him, when are you going to teach them? Oh, they're not ready. They're not ready. That's why I cut. Hey, brother, I blocked. I used to go back and I blocked all this. That's why the last video that I did in the morning, earlier today, somebody said, you a mamzer. That was him. That was him. But he makes up a new, I know him, I know the way you gotta know the way people write. That's him. That's him. You know? Go ahead, Al.
I was gonna say also I think it's the Romans. They believe in or it's Greek mythology. They believe in a god called Gaia.
Oh yeah, they believe the God of the earth. Exactly.
It's like some giant earth.
That's it. That's it.
They believe in many gods.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Here it says the earth as a whole. The earth as opposed to the heavens, the inhabited earth, the abode of men and animals.
which is another way of saying is oikomen.
Yep.
So let's go back. Let's read on.
Synonymous.
Continuing on Revelation 13 and 12, whose deadly wound was healed. So I'm just going to restart on. And he we're on 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from earth. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
That's his technology, his weaponry. It's a fighting jet. Go ahead, That's part of it. But really, that was before NATO came together. So we used to teach that, and was talking about the power of NATO. But you could say that too. You can say they dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki because they were part of the beast. Then later in history, they set up those fighter jets. Even World War I, World War II, they had flames. They're right. That was Revelation 9. They were dropping fire in World War I. World War II, they were doing the same thing. They had better technology. Back in the day, in the World War II, they said the Red Baron, which he might be a J, the first weapon that they had was he had a shotgun. So he'd fly up in a plane and he'd shot and shoot the American, the enemy. So now we have this technology, this high technology at Esau, that he got planes that can just don't have to go this way. They can just go up in the air.
Yep.
Take planes that have helicopters, have fighter jets. Yeah, go ahead, Ark.
Stealth bombers.
You know how, like,
Speak loud.
you know how, like, say that those fighter jets and stuff like that are referred as agents.
Yeah.
Right? They actually have a missing link, righteous, and they just shoot.
Because they think they're righteous devils. Go ahead. Let's read on.
Revelation 13:14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the
His
beast.
miracles is his technology. This right here is a miracle. This is a goddamn miracle, man. Yep. You can take pictures with it, you can record with it, a recorded voice, you can record video. All right? This is a goddamn computer.
You go live.
You can go live with it.
And it's used to track you. Really, that's what it is. It's a tracker.
Go ahead.
That they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
So that means the picture sees those shit. Where's what's the name of the president? Biden. You gotta believe in this picture right here. They ain't bringing out they ain't telling you when you get the chip you gotta bow down, you gotta kiss this picture. They ain't saying that, man. So that image is not you wrong, Nate. That image is not talking about the picture Caesar Borgia, because we read about it earlier, where it says whose deadly wound was healed. Now, if Caesar Borgia was not died, came back to life, that ain't his image, man. All right? How stupid can you be?
Yeah, so really, if you get the facts, you're making an image to the beast. Ultimately, if you get that electronic tag, it's like bowing down before the whole great beast. Like
yeah, because in order for you to get that jab, you got to believe in the system. And we're finding out police, they're like 30% of the police, or whatever the percentage that don't want to get it. Yep. So they talk about we're going to fire the police. Oh, they can't fly their planes no more because damn near all these pilots are saying, no, we ain't getting it, man.
Yeah.
The military, a great percentage of them is not getting it. So that's caused a lot of people are not working.
Yep.
Go ahead.
People that are working are being overworked.
And they're being overworked, so it's going to cause another catastrophe. Them nurses and them doctors, a lot of doctors are not, now if the doctors say, you got to go to the hospital to get this thing. If doctors that are around those patients, if they're saying that they want to get it, then they're not going to get it. You should listen to them.
Yeah.
If they're saying they're not going to get it, like I'm going to give you this scenario. You go to a restaurant, you find out the owner of the restaurant, the people that work in the restaurant, they don't eat that food. You couldn't pay them to eat that food. Would you continue to eat the food? Because there's something that they know that I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna eat this food no more.
Yeah, like them Moabites and them Chinese.
No, they eat their own food. Them devils eat their own food. I see them eat their food.
Oh, okay.
They'll take a break and they'll take some white rice, some
okay.
chicken in there. No?
Heathen chops.
So they eat their own food. Go ahead, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, since you mentioned the image of Cesare Borgia, it said that it was the beast that had a wound that came back. But the original beast, Cesare Borgia, wasn't alive at that time when the original beast was there. So,
But even if it is, let's say it's Caesar Borgia. Let's say it's talking about the 1400s when he was around. He never came back to life. Go ahead, huh?
Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Go ahead.
And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
It's talking about, when you look it up in the Greek, it's talking about the literal right hand, which is dextos, the right hand, right? When they say you got dexterity, that means you know how to work your hand. You know, whatever you do. Right hand or forehead is talking about the actual forehead, the actual right hand. And now the word mark, what does the word mark mean?
The word mark,
When you look it up, when you look up in the Greek, what does the word mark? What's the word mark?
it goes into the word karagma.
All right, good. What does the word karagma mean?
It means like an incision or a marking in the flesh.
Engraving, exactly. Now it's found one other time in the Bible, in the book of Acts. Does anybody know where it is? It can't be, the Godhead can't be compared to wood and stone. I don't know if it's...
It's 17, isn't it?
That's what it sounds like. 1724?
Somebody got it?
Somebody get it and read it.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Acts 17 and 24. Yahweh that made
What?
Yahweh that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
That's not it. That's
29th
similar
verse.
to it.
29th
29th verse. Same chapter?
Same chapter.
Okay.
29th verse. You got it.
Acts 17 and 29. For as much then as we are the offspring of Yahweh, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone graven by art and man's device.
Okay, so the word graven, when you look that word graven up, it's the same word karagma. So what is the act of graving? Taking a stone, taking a chisel, somebody that has skills, and they're engraving.
Carving it up.
So when you bring it back to Revelation 13, it's something being engraved in you, man. The root for that is karax, which means palisades. It's like when you make a fence, like an old time fence. You take a stake, you cut it to make it sharp so it can stick into the ground. So that's what's being stuck into you. That thing is being stuck into you. Now them other kids that can't get this, man, guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is not dealing with it. Point blank, period. End of story. All right? So you're gonna have to answer to the Most High, man. You either added to the word and took away from the word, and you added to the word. Go ahead, Al.
The Hebrew equivalent to that would be quite, right?
Quite, yes, quite, yep.
Or another Greek synonym would be stigma.
Stigma. That's it. That's it. When they put the marks in the Lord's hand, that was called a stigma. Stigma. All right. There's a physical stigma, and there's a how can I say a literal stigma and a figurative stigma. Like a girl that lives in your projects. You know, I'm meeting a chick, and y'all know about her. She a big hoe, And she bet you cool with Jacob down the hood, right? And you know that bitch been with everybody. So you don't know, and then you break up with her, you know? Well, she got a stigma on her.
She got a bad streak.
She got a stigma on her, right? So go ahead.
Revelation 13 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Now let's go to buy and sell. Buy and sell with what? With what? What are we going to buy into, right? But what are we going to buy? What form of money? That's what I'm getting at. What?
Digital.
Huh?
Digital.
Digital currency. They talk about the digital currency, right?
CBDC.
So everything's going to be digital. You don't got to go in your wallet and pull dollars out. You use your chip, boom, you pay for it, you know? A lot of my bills come right out of my account. All right? So go ahead.
Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Which represents a 666. That's what his number is based on, man. If you go to Revelation 17, what is that there? Revelation 17:5, I think it is.
Babylon the Great.
Babylon the Great, the mother harlot, abomination, mystery Babylon the Great, mother harlot, abomination of the earth. When you numerically add up the Hebrew, you got to go to the. I happen to have a Hebrew New Testament. When you go to the numeric value of that, it adds up exactly to 666.
And the 666 is Chi Psi stigma.
That's right.
Which is stigma. Yep.
Yep.
Which goes.
Which is the jab.
That's it.
If you can't, all you camps out there, if you can't see this, the Most High is not dealing with you.
Jab is actually 666. Chi Psi stigma. Makes sense.
So we're going to close.
Shalom.
We were supposed to close at 7 o'clock. It's almost 7:40. So we're going to move quick. If you brothers want to come up there, get the salute, and we're going to go.